mentors for things that we've been through. So I want you guys to, have any questions that you guys have, write them down like briefly, and then at the end we'll kind of go over what's up, guys. Briefly we'll kind of go over everything that we're gonna. Any questions that you guys may have, I think Jay's also gonna open up for Q&A. So anything that you guys may need, we're not gonna rush today, so I hope you guys have time. But yeah, guys, long story short, what's up, guys? We got more West Palm Squad coming in. You guys are free to sit wherever. What's up, Trish, Rob?
Hey.
Guys, so real quick, just one rule for tonight, no like full-on recordings or Instagram lives. Everything is gonna be by what you receive, so just have your notebooks and pens ready. You guys can take videos here and there, boomerangs, it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna bring up tonight's first speaker. Like I said, this individual introduced me to this platform. She's literally one of the most experienced leaders here in Miami. You guys didn't already know, Elaine and I are two of the top female leaders when it comes to a business partnership in the entire company. Not saying by our results, but literally just in the state of Florida and the company overall. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for her, a lot of you guys wouldn't be here. So if you guys could just show some gratitude to Elaine, really, and just give her a round of applause. I got it. Thank you.
All right. What's up, guys? Sorry, we're trying to roll with the punches because honestly, that is what leadership is about. Leadership is literally about being a problem solver and rolling with whatever comes your way. There's going to be so many times where things don't go your way, no matter how much you expect, and you're like, okay, I'm going to make sure that all of my I's are dotted and all my T's are crossed. Something happens unexpectedly like that. Something happens and you're like, okay, what do I do? Well, what are you going to do as a leader? You need to be a leader that reacts quickly, right? Okay, so I hope you guys have your pen, notebooks, laptops, phones, whatever it is, ready to go because I want to give you guys a training. This is a leadership training. If you're here, once again, it's because you are a Platinum 150 or above. For those of you on Zoom, hello, we're going to get started. We need somebody to admit people from the waiting room because
I got it.
It's too late though. It's Steve's setup.
You can always add a passcode and even that way now having to admit people in.
Yeah, but he has to fix that on his settings. So today I wanted to talk about the 4 tiers of effectiveness. Everybody's here, right?
Yes.
Screaming. So the 4 tiers of effectiveness. How many of you guys, being in this business, first off, how many of you guys have been here for at least 3 to 4 months? Okay. Anybody been here for less than that? Me and you too. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. So you guys have at least been here for 3 to 4 months. So how many of you guys? Which I already pretty much know the answer to this, but just so you can kind of get a feel for the kind of people that are in this room. How many of you have at least a part-time job? It could be part-time, full-time. You have your own business of some sort. You're self-employed besides IN. How many of you guys are not and you only do IN? Like you only build this business? Okay, not that many of you guys. Only 3. That's not including Katie and I. Only 3 of you guys. Everybody else, you guys have jobs. You guys have a lot of things that you're juggling, right? We all have families. Some of us have kids. Not me, not right now. But some of you guys have kids. Some of you guys have spouses. You guys have businesses. You guys have jobs. You have a lot of things that you're already juggling outside of here. Now you come in and here you are adding another thing to your plate. And if you're in this room, you're adding not 1 additional thing, but at least 2, right? Because if you're here, we're all traders. So we all had to put in the time and effort and the hard work to learn the charts. Learn, figure out, how can I make money from looking at this thing going up and down, right? And then on top of that, you decided to want to help other people to do the very same thing. Guys, that is a blessing that we all have. But at the same time, it's a lot of hard work. How many of you guys can agree to that? So every single day, if you analyze your week at the end of the week or the beginning of the week, you look at the last, 6-7 days, what it looks like, and you're like, man, I wish I had more time. I wish I had more hours in my day, right? And you've all heard the saying that they say everybody has the same hours a day as Beyonce, right? Yeah, but Beyonce also has a ton of assistants that helps her get everything done. It's only me, myself, and I right now, right? So, you know, we've all been in a place where we're saying, I don't have enough time. You know, I have so much to do. I have to run errands. I have to be there for the team. I have to get on this call. I have to, you know, run and help my mom with this or do that and the other, right? I have to make time to jump on Go Live. There's not enough time, right? So I want to talk about the 4 tiers of effectiveness. There's certain things that us as leaders need to learn how to do or maybe to undo certain types of behaviors. Okay, so leaders, we focus our attention and activity towards desired results. Every single one of you guys have some type of result that you desire, right? You all said what your rank wants to look like by November 1st. Why are we saying November 1st? Retreat, exactly. We're all pushing for every one of our team members who want to build. We're all trying to push them to get to retreat. Now, I want you to take a look at the number of people that are in this room. How many of those people are in your organization right now? They have to be at least a P150 if they're in this room, right? And to get to retreat, you have to be at least a P1000. So if they're not even in this room and they want to go to retreat, they have a lot of work to do because they only have 2.5 weeks left. They have, well, about 3 weeks. I think it's like 21 days as of today. Right? So you have roughly 3 weeks to get to retreat. Some of you guys in this room are still not qualified to get to retreat. And that is unfortunate for all of us, including Katie and I, because yeah, we're gonna be there, but it doesn't matter. Like, it's not about us. We're doing this all for you guys. Everything that we do, every call that we've gotten on, whether it be the weekly mentorship calls or whether it be one-on-one calls, trying to game plan with every single one of you to get to retreat, that's what it's for, is to help you guys. Right? So we all have some type of result that we desire and we have a date attached to that goal. So what do you think, you know, sometimes happens is we have people on our team that come to us and they say, they either call us or they text us and they're like, this is urgent. How many times did Katie get that when she was out in Orlando and she was telling me like, hey, I have a few different leaders. I have, you know, a few different things that are coming up. And you know, same goes with me where I have leaders that hit me up and they're like, I need help, blah, blah, blah. It's urgent, I need it right now. And I'm like, do you really need it right now? Like, was this really something that you could not figure out yourself, right? And it's not to throw shade in any way, but it's to help us figure out how can we get more of our time back, right? So many of us say, I don't have enough time, but honestly, it's because sometimes we're putting things on our plate that shouldn't even be there. If you want to make room for more growth, then you got to make room on your plate, right? And there was a pastor that gave us that analogy. I remember hearing it a while ago. They said, if you want more blessings, you're praying for more blessings, you're working hard towards your goal, but you have your plate full of stuff. You got to get rid of some of that stuff. Part of leadership is duplication, right? How do you get your time back? You duplicate more leaders. You duplicate more people like Lance, right? You duplicate more Schwabs, more Jasons. You duplicate more Chris, more V's, more BJ, more all of you guys. You duplicate yourself in the process, right? So as you duplicate, you now have less on your plate, but you're making room for more. It's not that Katie and I delegate certain things because we're like, woof, all right, I don't want to do that. I don't have to do that anymore. No, I can do what I want. No. We're getting ready for more blessings, right? Every rank that you hit, you're adding more number of people that are going to need your support, that are going to need you in different ways. Are you getting yourself prepared for that, right? Or are you here still attempting to those phone calls? Hey, I need something. And you're like, bro, you've been here for how long? And you're still asking me the same question? Like, be real with yourselves. How many of you guys have done that? I'm guilty of doing that too, you know, but not so much recently, but, you know, stupid questions that were like, oh, you're right. Yeah, sorry about that. All right, I gotta go, thanks, right? So how do you define your priorities? There's gonna be 4 tiers, right? 4 tiers of effectiveness, that's what we're talking about. So tier number 1 is mission critical. So if this isn't done, the boat doesn't float, okay? So if you're writing it down, if this isn't done, the boat doesn't float. So there's certain things that have to be a tier 1. What does that mean? That means that if you specifically, not anyone in your team, but you specifically, if you are not doing that thing, like that's it. Like there's no more. Like it just ends right here, right? Define what that looks like for you, okay? And then tier number 2, it matters a lot, but it's not mission critical. So it's important, but we gotta be strategic, okay? So it's important, but if it doesn't get done, the plane is not gonna crash. I know we're talking about different stuff, boats and planes, you're like, what the heck? But I want you guys to kind of picture that in your head. So it's important, but if it doesn't get done, the plane won't crash. The plane can still rise, right? If something happens to the pilot, there's a co-pilot. If something happens to you, or you can't do that specific thing for whatever reason, you have somebody else in your team that you can say, hey, you know what, dude, I'm on vacation. I'm doing this and that. I'm spending time with family for the night, right? Because we're here because we also want time freedom. We're here for financial freedom, but we're also here for time freedom. That's what I signed up for. So I will always be here to help every single one of you guys that are in my organization. But I'm also going to make time for the things that are important in my life, like my family, right? So if I'm watching a movie, I've done it before where I say, hey, and my sister's in this room and she can attest to that, where I'm like, hang on guys, I'm sorry, I gotta go answer this call, I gotta go send this voice, and I gotta go do this and that. What am I doing? As I'm doing that, I'm sacrificing my time with my family to be there for you guys, but was that something that maybe somebody else could have taken care of, okay? So then tier number 3, meaningful but not vital, okay? Meaningful but not vital, right? So if it doesn't get done, it's really not a big deal. Then tier number 4, this is something externally initiated, but it's not vital either. So examples of that would be like when Katie and I, for example, we have other teams within IM, right? Completely outside of our organization. Other teams, most of the time they're in other countries actually. Like we've done certain types of like mentorship calls for Germany or for, I don't know, whatever other places. And I remember telling Katie, I'm like, hey, yeah, at that time, I was still working, right? I still had my job and I was still getting on all these phone calls. And I told her, hey, if you have time to do that, you go for it, girl. But right now with my job, I can't do that because my priority is going to be with my team, right? So when it gets to that point where other people are reaching out to you for mentorship, hey, can you mentor my team? Hey, oh, I'm in another organization, but can you still be my mentor? You know how many times Katie and I have gotten that through like Instagram, or I don't even know where they find us, and they're like, can you please be my mentor? And I'm like, are you already in the company? Yeah, but my upline this and that and blah, 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 blah. Dude, I'll help you, when I can, when I have the time, but my priority is my team. Imagine if I was out helping everybody else and then you guys are like, yo, hello, you know what I mean? And so those are the external things that we say, I can help when I can, but that is the least important thing on my plate right now. We have to give other things our priority. What are you giving priority, right? Your importance isn't measured by how much you do, but by how much what you do matters, right? So when your team is, when you're speaking to them, when they're listening, when they're being receptive, it's not by what you do, but it's by whatever you do, how much does it matter to them, okay? So the way that you can kind of analyze what is a priority and what is not, if you have more than 5 tier 1 things on your plate, that's too many. More than 5 tier 1 things, that's too many, okay? There's not that many mission critical things for you as a leader. There are many things that you can learn to delegate to other leaders, okay? You will never maximize your effectiveness by responding to other people's priorities. Right? You will never maximize your effectiveness by responding to other people's priorities. When other people say, well, this is important, what's important to you, but is it important to me? Okay, now understand the difference of being there for your team, but also not babying them. Because when you baby your team, they're gonna need you for every little thing. And then you're gonna end up literally giving no time to anything else that's important in your life. right? We're all about climbing that ladder, being there for a team, but still making time for everything else, okay? So tier 1 drives out anything else. Remember that, tier 1 drives out anything else. Initiate more than you respond, okay? What lower tier activity can you possibly eliminate? You are a leader, you're the only one that can do this. So prioritize, determine what is most important, and do first what matters most. Okay, do first what matters most. Everything else in your day, look at your day, look at everything that you have to do at the beginning of the day and see, all right, what matters most? That's the first thing that I need to tackle. And I think I actually heard Bob Proctor say that. I forgot where, I think I saw it on Instagram or something, where he was saying, do what matters most first, and then everything else is secondary, okay? So this is, hopefully it's been able to kind of give you some guidance on how to structure your day, how to structure the things on your to-do list. And yeah, so I wanted to kind of leave you guys off with that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the next speaker of the night, which this individual has been somebody that I look up to all the time from the minute that I first started. He was actually the person that first started talking to me about IN, about, you know, what Forex was about. I had no idea. He's been with me every step of the way, holding my hand. I give a lot of credit to him because I was not easy at the beginning. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but he had a lot of patience, and he's somebody who leads with so much, it was, I don't even know how to describe, like value and patience and wisdom. I definitely look up to this person because no matter what is happening behind the scenes, you will never know about it, because every time he comes with so much energy. He comes and swing. He's like, let's go. I'm playing games. I want each and every one of you guys to leave here fired up and receive value, and your notebooks are filled up. And I'm very excited for you guys to hear my incredible, amazing mentor, which I love and adore, Mr. Steve Mack.
All right, guys, give it up for the great Elaine, soon to be chairman of 10. You know, it's crazy. So I was sharing today with the organization in the leadership chat, and I dropped Elaine's P150 flyer, I dropped Katie's P150 flyer, and a bunch of people, and it's crazy to think of, you know, how fast time goes, number one, but also how fast you can get to where it is that you want to go. Who here right now is a P150? Right? That's the highest rank you've ever hit. Okay, that's most of us. Can we give it up for all the P150s? Who here is a P600, right? P600, let's go. Give it up for the P600, man. By the way, just so you understand, when you hit P600, you're already in like the top 5 of the company. So to put that in perspective for you, right? That's a pretty big deal. And then who here is a Platinum 1000? All right, give it up. Give it up. Now remember this, guys, right? A Platinum 1000 is a P150 who never quit. A Platinum 5000 is just a P150 who never quit. A Chairman 10, a Chairman 25 is a P150 who never quit. It's a person who got better. Now I want you guys to understand something, because I know somebody here probably is either thinking this or was thinking this on the way here. Damn, you know what? I'd rather go out to dinner. Man, I'd rather be with my friends right now. There's something I'd rather be watching as you're coming here. You were getting ready, and it was a pain in the ass. And you were like, man, I don't want to drive to Hollandale Beach, right? But I really want you to understand the greatness of what you've got in front of you, right? You see, what we're doing as a company has never been done in the history of, if you want to call it MLM, right? We are a trading company, we're an educational company, but we have an MLM engine. And with that engine, there has never been a Ferrari or Lamborghini built like this engine. When you've got Chairman 750s, not one, not two, 3 Chairman 750s in a company, that's $750,000 a month. Now, I want you to understand, I was in a company that is 40 years old, and the most that anybody had ever made in 40 years was $5 million in a year. And they did it one time. They weren't making it consistently. Somebody pull out a calendar real quick. and a calculator. And I want you to multiply 750 times 12, and I want you to tell me what that number is. What is it? $9 million. What did I tell you in 40 years, my old company, the greatest number was? 5 million, and it happened once. What did you just say? Did you know that they get bonuses too? It puts them at about 10 million a year. So this company in year 7 is already doubling what my old company did in 40 years in only 7 years. You understand? I mean, that's a big deal, right? So I want you to understand that that's why you're here. You understand? That's why you sacrifice a Saturday night. See, I don't know about you, but if I need to sacrifice Saturday nights so that one day I can spend a Saturday night in Bali and I'm still getting paid, I'll do that. You feel me, right? Does that make sense, right? I want you guys to be honest with me here. Who here is in a job right now and they would love to get out of it? Just be honest. Okay, that's a lot of us. Okay, that's a group of us. And the ones that don't have their hands up is probably because they're already out of a job, right? They're like, they already went all in, right? And the other half hasn't because you can't, because you've got expenses and stuff, and that's fine. I was there. I remember that feeling. Here's the point that I want to give you. You take this seriously. Guys, you have 4 income streams that can set you free. We're about to launch a 5th one, right? Who was on that call this morning with the ECX, right? We're about to launch a 5th one. I'm telling you right now, if you get focused, you can become financially free in at least one. I mean, come on, can you become free in at least one? And that's why you're here today. So I know that they told me that everybody who was going to be a Platinum 150 or above, and I figured what most of the trainings were kind of going to consist on, and I wanted to bring you something that was completely different. Is that cool?
Yes.
I wanted to tackle the things that nobody talks about. You see, because leadership, it's more than the obvious. In fact, leadership is actually more about what's not obvious. See, it's not how you say something, or it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not even your direct action, it's what's coming behind that, right? And so I want to tackle some of the things that I feel that up-and-coming leaders have the biggest challenge with. Is that the Zoom call over there? All right, cool. Just want to make sure that we're clear. Hey guys, if we're clear, you guys got a good picture, drop some ones in the chat. Let's make sure that that's good. I want to record this for future use, right? So I want to talk about a couple things. And in fact, I was thinking about this coming here. I'm glad Elaine was talking about, prioritizing things. And I want to kind of mention this just in passing is understand the hardest thing here. Let's say, for instance, you hit the number that you need to hit so that you can quit your job. It's done. I want you to picture right now it's done. You walked into the office, or some of you are like, man, I want to get rid of a side business I'm doing. You shut it down. Now it's Monday morning. You know what the hardest thing is? You are your own boss. And you see, we've been institutionalized for people to tell us when we walk in the door and when we get to go home. And since we've been institutionalized, we need somebody to say, okay, now is work time, now it's fun time. But you know what happens when you start taking this seriously and you're doing this 24 hours a day? You have no boss. And so now you're your own boss. So now you have to prioritize, which is what Elaine was talking about. Here are a couple things I want you to figure out how you're going to prioritize them. When you're part-time, you can do this in 2 or 3 hours a day. You can sprinkle it in on your lunch break. You can do it in the evenings. You got to double up on your weekends. By the way, I did it twice. When I was working a construction job and I wanted to get the heck out of there, I studied my way into nonprofit work. And I did it on the weekends, and I did it on my lunch break, and I did it in my evenings until I got my dream job. I got to my dream job and I realized it was still just a job. And I said, okay, now I need more money. I need to get out of this job that was my dream job, but it's actually not my dream. It's not a nightmare, but it's kind of close. I can't be in control of my life. So what do I do? So then when I was outside of there, I worked in a business. Did that again until I was able to get out of that, right? So what are some things I want you guys to prioritize? Here's a couple of them. Number one, you guys know this, trading time, right? So if you're going to develop a skill set, you got to have a dedicated time for it. Now, here's the extreme. You can go too deep into trading and now you're not building your business. The danger of that is I want everybody here building a residual income so that when you're trading, you're not trading your money anymore. So you're not even worried about the outcome. Now you're free to focus on the fact that if you win the trade, it's all good. But if you lose a trade, you don't even care because there's another check coming in on Friday. That makes sense. Yeah. So you got to prioritize trading time. You got to prioritize building time. What's building time? When you're actually calling people, when you're actually DMing people, when you're on three-way calls, when you're running webinars, you need to prioritize that into your day. And it is separate from trading. If you want to drive yourself insane, here's what you do. You try to trade and build at the same exact time slot in your day. If 5 o'clock is trading time, my friend, there can be no three-way call at that time. But if there's a three-way call at 6 o'clock, there's no way that you're going to trade. You got to figure out that rhythm for yourself. You also have to figure out a rhythm of when you're posting every day. If you're going to build this business and you're going to build it the way we're building it, guys, you have to post every single day. Now, you can do it in your stories, right? But what I do is I post in my stories. I'll borrow some of that. I'll drop it as a Facebook status. If you're doing LinkedIn, you can kind of change it up a little bit, drop it in LinkedIn. If I do a live on Instagram, I'll just do the same live on Facebook. But you need to figure out when you're adding value to those that are around you. Now, I want to talk about adding value. You also have to figure out you're a P150. You're not their boss, but you are their leader. You have influence over them. You need to figure out a time slot when you're pouring into them every day. Even if it's a message that you're sending them. Some of you guys already have Telegram chats. By the way, P.S., most people, I do not encourage that until a Platinum 1000 or above. If you've already done that, that's okay. But we'll talk about that in a second. So prioritize when you're building, when you're trading, when you're posting, when you're adding value to your team and your social media, period. And here's the thing is find a rhythm. There's rhythms to life. Look at your 24-hour clock. Look at when you're getting up, when you're going to sleep. Find your rhythm and then stick to it. All right? So that's all I want to say. That's actually kind of an add-on. Who's ready to go to the next level? Say next level.
Next level. Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So you're saying time for building and time for pouring into your team, but that could be.
And that's separate. If you're adding value, your team is not increasing. That's not building.
Okay.
When I add value, I wake up in the morning and I'm praying and I actually maybe listen to some audios and I say, how am I going to add value to people today? I think of what I'm going to drop in my chats, what I'm going to message my people today that's going to inspire them, not motivate, inspire. Remember this, motivation is emotional, it goes away. Inspiration is transformational, it changes lives. What can you do today to inspire your people to become the people that they want to be? You guys with me? All right? Number one, we are hope dealers, not product pitchers. This is what we do here at I Am Academy. We do not pitch products, we deal hope. If you're from the hood, it's like those that deal dope, but we deal hope, all right? That's what we bring people. I started thinking about this because people, they get caught up in, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not asking you to be. Oh, I don't like convincing people. I don't want you to convince anybody. I want you to inspire them and give them hope and help them believe that they can accomplish everything that they've ever wanted to because of the opportunity you're presenting in front of them. You are a hope dealer. When you get on a three-way call, you're not there to talk about how great trading is at Forex and $6.6 trillion. Yes, we mentioned that. But you're actually there to give them hope. You're actually there to help them set them free. You're there to help them go to the next level. And so what you're there to do is inspire them. We're hope dealers. Sometimes what can happen is we get so caught up in pitching the product that like it's this great product. Don't you see how great my product is? Don't you want this product? They're like, it's okay. I don't want to spend the money. But if you tell them, hey, but listen, this is not just a product, it's a door. This door is going to lead you to where you want to go in life. Now you've got their mind, you've got their heart. You understand? So you do got to get good at explaining the products, how it works, why it works. You got to get good at all that. I'm not taking that away. But I want you to remove the concept of you're pitching somebody something or selling them something, and instead you're giving them hope. You're telling them, hey, I can help you get out of debt. You're telling them, hey, I'm helping you get out of that job. You're telling them, hey, I can help you provide for your children. I can help you provide for that retirement fund. Whatever it is, you got to get to. So start asking different questions. Right? So, it's not like, hey, so can you afford it? You got a car to put this on. What do you think? No. How does this fit into where it is that you want to go with your life? I didn't ask them if it fits. I said, how does it fit? Now you got them thinking. How does this fit into my, I think trading would help me make XYZ dollars. Boom. You are a hope dealer, not a product pitcher. Make sense?
Yes.
Here's an important one. A lot of you guys are phenomenal recruiters. Okay? Phenomenal. I put somebody in front of you. If they've got the money and you smile enough, they're going to get started. Right? Some of you are very good at that. And I love that. That's phenomenal, right? But here's the thing. You will not build a consistent business over a long period of time if you are not a product of the product. I have had people hit Platinum 1000 in 1 month and 2 or 3 months later are gone. You know why? They didn't want to learn anything. They didn't want to listen about Proctor. They didn't want to learn HFX. They didn't want to learn FRX. They just said, hey, I'll sign people up and make money. That is very short term. Those are those people that you see them, they hit these ranks and then they disappear. So what you want to do is, yes, you want to get people in the game, but you want to make sure you understand something. You don't got to understand everything, but you want to understand something. Can you lead somebody to use the DeLorean scanner? Can you lead somebody to use the harmonic scanner with Manny Quinones? Guys, the longer I'm here, the more that I realize it's not about how much I trade. It's about how well I can help somebody else understand how to use a product. Are you guys with me?
Yes.
If you can explain who's on Go Live and how that relates to the scanner that you're using right now, that's all you need. It doesn't matter how much money you're making. You could be making great money, but if you can explain this, you actually will do better in building long term. I'll give you another nugget. We have had people, when I say we, I'm talking about this organization, have had people that are tremendous traders. Tremendous. You know what's interesting about them? They don't last because they don't catch the vision. This is not about becoming a great trader. Yes, we've got great traders. Mike Sotero's a phenomenal trader, but it's not about that. It's about edifying the platform. The more you edify the platform and you take light off of yourself, the more that people will follow you. Some of us, this is another note that I was going to get into, I'll say it now, some of us are caught up with being the great trader. And if you feel a little heat from that, then let it be what it is. I was in that season. I was in a season where I thought, man, I got to be the greatest trader if I'm going to build this thing. Nobody's going to follow me. No, that's actually a fallacy. That's actually a pit that you can fall into and never get out of. You got to change your mindset. You don't have to be a phenomenal trader. Should you learn how to trade? Absolutely. Should you want to trade? Absolutely. Should you know the products? Absolutely. Are you the trader? No. Go Live is the trader. You guys with me so far?
Yeah.
But you got to be a product of the product. Here's what I'll tell you right now. I want you to go into your back office if you haven't done so, and I want you to find something that you're going to be all out to. Whatever it is. I don't care if it's DCX, HFX, FRX, I don't care what it is. And then I want you to find one freaking product that you can get excited about, and your only job, you only have one job, is to edify the platform and edify that one tool. That's it. That's all I want you to do, man. Get caught up with getting excited about the platform. Get excited about a scanner, and then get people on that. Here's another nugget. You should have something, this is really for like Platinum 600, Platinum 1000, you should have a product that your team is rallying around. It doesn't mean that everybody has to get that. I sign people on DCX the same way I sign people up on HFX, the same way I sign people up on FRX and give them the DeLorean. But you should have one thing that right now is the centerpiece of your team, and everybody's going to rally around that and run with it, right? Get them excited about something. Here's another nugget. If you have somebody that was in your team and quit or stopped paying because they weren't having success, you know what you do in 30 days? You hit them up about another product, right? And I'm going to talk about that. But you can hit people back up, and they were trying DeLorean and it didn't work. Well, guess what's happening right now, my friends? There's the wave of HFX. You get on the phone. Hey, bro, listen, I know DeLorean didn't work, but HFX is the wave. There's this guy, $2 million, $5 million. My boy's killing it. And guess what? Now they sign back up. Now they're excited about something new. You guys with me?
Yeah.
So be excited about a product. Get your entire team running around the product. But you got to use the product. Something. I don't care what it is. By the way, it's not enough for you to do it at home by yourself. You need to post about it. In your Telegram group, you need to post that you were freaking on Go Live today, man. You need to post that you use the scanner. If your team, remember this, if your team does not think that you trade or that you use the products, they're going to be like, dude, why am I paying for this? I'm not using the product either. My upline doesn't use the product. I don't use the product. Why am I paying this membership? Like, guys with me. If a gym is charging me $150 a month, I know I need to go to the gym a little bit more. Right now, I'm trying to work on it, right? But if I'm not going to the gym and I'm paying $150, you think I'm going to keep paying it? No. So you need to be showing up, and your people need to see you show up so that they keep showing up, right? So that they keep paying for the product, right? That's going to create longevity in your business. By the way, here's a side note. And everything I'm saying, I want you to understand that this is my heart. I'm speaking for you to get results, but my heart is we're going to impact. Does that make sense? The longer that somebody's in your organization, the closer that they are to their breakthrough. Guys, I kid you not. I'm going into year 3. More breakthroughs happen now consistently in year 3 than they happened in the whole first year that I was here, right, for 12 months. And I'm like, oh, well, this guy's kind of getting trading, and this person's kind of creating some residual income. But 3 years in, it's like clockwork. 6-figure traders popping, People about to pop chairman in this organization. P1000s, P2000s, P5000s, all winning. Guys, I got a guy right now. This is the impact our platform has. Started HFX, was going through a tough time in his life, got laid off, was with me for like a year, couldn't figure out his strategy, started doing HFX, learned Matty Pitt's strategy, couldn't even afford to pay for his product, but kept trading, and he's averaging 12% a week. And he says, Steve Max, I'm about to drop like $7 grand in there that I've got, and after my last job didn't work. This is a guy with 3 kids. This is not like a kid. He's like, I'm gonna start living off of my HFX trading, and I'm about to come back because I got some people coming back. That's power. That's impact, right? Yeah, that's a success story right there, right? But what happened is I would have given up. You know, let me tell you something right now. I got goosebumps. If I would have quit in year 1, nobody here would be here. Nobody here would be here if I quit in year 1. Now we could say, but God, and He would have let me here anyways. That's fine. But in the literal sense, nobody here would be here, right? And I had to break through the fact that I didn't go platinum 150 for 60 days almost. I hit platinum 600 in month 4 or 5, and the last person to sign up was a family member. Within 7 days, they got the 7-day refund. I D-ranked. Went to my first convention, unranked. I was a P150, couldn't walk across the stage. Figured out how to sign somebody up, hit P600 again. I saw, damn it, if I don't walk that stage, walked across the stage in Las Vegas, first international convention for the company. What if I would have quit when somebody quit on me? You need to stick this thing out, not just for you, but for the people that you're going to bring in that are going to have success. You guys with me? Amen. Be a product of the product. I already told you guys, you are not the trading education. Look, right around P6, P1, P2, you're going to start feeling this pressure of, man, I got to help these people. They're not doing too well trading, you know, whatever the case may be. And then you start doing trainings. And you start doing trainings every freaking day because you want to add value. But you know what you're actually doing? You're taking your people away from the platform. And the more that you take them away from the platform, the more that you're going to have attrition. The more that people are going to stop paying because they're going to say, well, I don't need the platform. I've got my leader. My leader's on TradingView. I don't even need a scanner because he's teaching me, you know, Fibonacci ratios, and he's teaching me head and shoulders patterns, and that's all great. But what if I told you that 80% of traders that trade that way without some scanner aren't going to make money in like 3, 4, 5 years? I'm telling you, it doesn't exist. Right? And so you got to make sure, guys, that you're edifying the platform more than you're edifying yourself. Don't get caught up in being the best trader in your organization. By the way, here's a side note. Are you okay with somebody being a better trader than you in your organization? Here's another side note. Are you okay with somebody being a better builder than you in your organization?
Let's go.
Put your ego down and let people flourish, and your promotion will come in its time. Here's something else I want you guys to understand. This is heaven. You're always casting vision on every call and every conversation that you have with your people. You are always casting vision every conversation you're having with your people. But Steve, it was just a conversation with one of the girls and we were talking about how hard this and that is. You are casting negative vision. Listen, you are a leader. The minute that you recruited one person and got somebody to join you, I say this is not something you're signing people to. This is a journey that you're inviting people with. When you said, hey, Bob, will you come with me? You didn't say, hey, follow me. You said, hey, come with me on this journey. If you speak doubt, you just planted a seed of doubt in their hearts and mind. Be careful. When you have doubt, you know who you talk to? You talk to me. You talk to Katie and Elaine. You talk to Michael Terrell, Jason Brown. You don't talk to you downline. Remember this, always crap up. Never crap down. It's not intuitive, right? Don't crap down to the people that you're leading, ever. Man, trading is hard. You better never say that to your people. Man, building is hard. You better never say that to your people. You always speak faith. You always speak belief. When you open your mouth and there are people following you, listening, you're always speaking vision. The question is it positive or negative?
Yeah.
Wow. Make sure that you're always casting positive vision, my friends, so that people will follow you. Right? And it's not about being fake, but there's certain things that you just do not speak to people that are following you. You understand what I'm saying? You blew your account, you know who you cry to? Your upline. Don't be telling your people you blew your account. Now you're creating doubt in them. You guys feel me? Somebody quit. First of all, who cares? Somebody quit, who cares? But don't tell your people, oh man, people are quitting. No. And bring that to me. Bring that to Katie. Bring that to Elaine. All right? You're always speaking vision whenever you're speaking on any call or any conversation. By the way, the conversation should always be 1 million customers and 1,000 sharing, period. Period. That's always the vision.
Nice.
The vision is always growing the company. The vision is always where we're going. Always edify the platform, okay? I'm gonna run through these couple next things, guys, okay? Be independent but not isolated. Be independent but not isolated. What do I mean by that? Again, this happens around, sometimes at P6, and that's why they don't make it to P1, but definitely at P1 this happens. You start gaining some ranks, you start making some money, people are following you. You know what you do? You go off and do your own thing. You start thinking, you know, I don't need Katie Elaine, I don't need Steve Max, I don't need Mike Sotero. Listen, we want you to be independent. Don't call me to figure out maxi cash. I mean, you can if you don't know how. I'll tell you once and then you figure it out. So you can call me, you can call us, but we want you to be independent, but we don't want you to isolate yourself. What do I mean by that? You're off doing your thing. You like, there's this, and you don't come to this, right? There's a home meeting, but you're too good to come to the home meetings now because you're a P1000 doing your own thing. Never get there. Oh, I'm doing my own calls. I don't need the Katie Elaine call. No, no, no. Do not isolate your people from the momentum that's already here. Here's what I encourage you to do. First of all, until you hit Platinum 1000, I don't want you to do anything different. What do I mean by that? Whatever you did to hit Platinum 150, yes, you will do a little bit more as you grow, but whatever you did to do Platinum 150, I want you to do it till you hit Platinum 1000. What happens a lot of times is as you're growing and you start hitting ranks, you start doing different stuff. Why are you doing that? Why are you off creating your own thing, inventing your own thing? Not even a Platinum 1000 yet. And here's the reality, guys. The longer that I'm here, you know what I realized? Really, it's Platinum 2000 where you should really be thinking about, okay, what is the identity of my team? What am I doing? Honestly, guys, you guys should be side by side with Elaine and Katie, for any Elaine and Katie's team, which is like 99% of people here except Mariano. You should be side by side with him. Mariano is a Platinum 1000. He's side by side with me. Greg Red, Platinum 1000. He's a side by side with me. He's in the trenches with me. They're not worried about doing their own thing. Sometimes we do our own thing too early, and that's why our own thing doesn't grow. Just being, can I be honest? I really want you guys to understand, I've been here 3 years. I've seen a lot of stuff, okay? So, be independent, you know, do what you gotta do, but don't isolate your people and don't isolate yourself from the momentum and the fire. Who's with me?
Let's go.
Who's with me?
Let's go.
All right, let's go, let's go. All right, check this out. P1K is you becoming a leader. P1K, when you hit Platinum 1K, you've said to the universe, you've said to your leaders, hey, I'm capable. I can do stuff. I can rock stuff. You can count on me. I can show up. That's typically around P1K. Now, by the way, are there different nuances? Absolutely. Everybody launches differently. Everybody's different. I'm speaking general right now, okay? And if you want, you know, sick by sick, side by side, let me see somebody saying something about the, oh, okay. Steve Max is dropping major sauce on Zoom. Okay, I like that. I like that. All right? So here's the deal. P1K, you're a leader now. You're like, yo, I got my Superman badge, I can go to war. But P2K is your team is full of leaders. So here's what I want you to focus on. Personal self-development and growth and running as fast as you can until you smack P1K. And then around P1K, your focus is, who are my leaders so that I can go to P2K? And here's the sauce. P2K may not sound like a whole lot of money. It's $2,000 a month, $500 a week. But here's what we've seen. P2K is actually when you're getting ready for chairman. P2K is when you're getting ready for chairman. P1K says you're a chairman. P2K says your team is chairman. Are you guys with me? I'm giving you guys advanced stuff here, man. You're P150 like, man. Right? So just understand that, right? Get to P1K, you're now a leader, right? P2K, your team is full of leaders, right? Now listen to this. You've heard it said, success loves speed. Who's heard that said before? Success loves speed. You guys with that?
Yeah.
Okay. But longevity loves consistency.
Great.
You better hit it hard. You better hit it fast. The faster you hit it, the faster you'll get there. But if you are not consistent, you won't stay there. I've seen people hit P1000 in 1 month and the next month be gone. They hit it as fast as they could and they were gone the next second. But you see, when my P1Ks hit P1K, oh, they're here for chairman, man. They ain't going nowhere. Why? Because you know what? Haven't always had the fastest team, but I've always had a consistent team. When we say we're gonna have a home event, man, we have that home event every week. When we're gonna do a Zoom call, man, we do that Zoom call every week. When you call us, we're still there. You understand? So as you're growing, that's awesome. You hit P150, awesome. P600, awesome. P1000, awesome. But now you got to be consistent. Now, does consistency mean you never get a day off? Does it mean you can't spend time with family? No, it doesn't mean that. But it means your team knows that you're always going to respond to their calls and texts. Maybe not be immediately. My people know. You call me and it's a bad time, I'm not answering the phone. But if you text me and I can, I'm going to respond right away. Why? Because I'm present, right? And so I want you guys to understand success loves speed, but if you want to be here a long time, you better be consistent. You don't have to be the best right now, but read a book every day, a couple pages. Listen to audios every day, a couple minutes. And what happens is over the next 6, 12, 24 months, you become the person that you want to become. The results come after that. So if you guys want to be here for a while, then you better be consistent. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Don't come and hit a rank. Honestly, you hit a rank, I love that. I'm excited for you. You make some money trading. Oh, Steve, I've only been here 30 days. I made 1,000. That's actually scary to me now. I used to be like, yo, this guy's going to be a great trader. No, no, no. If he made 1,000 in his first month, that probably means he's getting ready to blow an account. You better warn him. Okay? I'm just being real. This is a leadership conversation that we need to have, right? Here we go. Leadership attracts, ego propels.
That's true.
Leadership attracts, ego propels. What do I mean by that? When people see value in who you are, when people see that you're a person that they can follow, they're going to be around, man. They're going to be attracted to you. They're going to hit you up on social media. You know, your team's going to want to be around you. But the minute that your ego takes over and your cockiness takes over and the humility goes away, whether because you make money trading or you hit a rank, you know what you do? You start pushing people away. You'll start pushing your leaders away. You start pushing your team away, right? You might even start pushing your profits away from the markets, right? Because we know there's a spiritual side to the market. Oh, yeah. So be careful with your ego. Always keep it in check, guys. All right? John Maxwell, I really encourage you guys. He has dozens and dozens of books. I would encourage you guys to listen to John Maxwell, all right? To increase your leadership, all right? We're about to wrap this thing up. Here we go. Recruit up, recruit down, recruit all around, right? Recruit everybody. Because at the end of the day, I'll be honest, there are people that are going to come into your business that are going to surprise you. You're going to have builders come in your business that you didn't think were builders, and they're going to smack ranks. You're going to have people come into your business and kill it at trading, and you're going to be like, yo, what the heck? I cannot believe this person's killing it on the charts, right? So recruit everybody, but here's the truth. When you recruit up, that's what brings explosions. When you recruit up, that's what brings explosions. Now, what do I mean by that? Look, most of us here were probably not raised rich, right? Maybe we didn't have family that could pay for like top of the line college education, and we had, you know, we were in fraternities and, you know, whatever it is, right? Most of us maybe weren't in that situation. And so, you know, hey, I'll be honest with you guys, when I grew up, right, especially between the age of 16 and 21, was dead broke. Moved to Miami at 21 with 2 bags of clothes and some other stuff, had nothing, had no car, had no credit, right? The only thing I had was a license, right? Thank God I had that so I could at least drive to work, right? Had nothing. But you know what happens if I just recruit there? Nothing happens, actually, right? So number one, you need to develop yourself so you can start attracting the better you, but you need to get good at spotting people who are in a great position that you can bring into your organization and explode it. What do I mean by that? Listen, I don't care if you're broke today. You know what I was thinking about just before coming here? I was about a platinum 1,000 in this company, but I signed up a guy who had made over $300,000 a year in our previous company. How did I do that? I believed in what I was doing. I was nervous as hell, but I showed up to his house anyways. He gave me a sales pitch. I gave him mine. I put Matt Rose on the phone. I said, Lord, I'm throwing a Hail Mary right now. Signed up. Within about 45 days was platinum 1,000, right? I recruited up. Now listen, not everybody you meet is going to be like that, but maybe there's somebody whose inbox can you get into today? And hit them up and just, you never know. Listen, rappers right now ain't making no money. Sports people right now, I mean, it's starting to open up again, but they're not making money like that. People are more open now than ever to the opportunity to make money from home or online. Hit somebody up, man, and just be confident. They don't know what your trading account is. They don't know what your bank account is. They don't know you're from a can of paint. It's how you present yourself. It's how you inspire them. If you can inspire somebody, they'll follow you, right? So recruit up, man. Listen, if everybody here recruits up, you will explode. All right, we're almost done. We're almost done. I will say this: recruiting down brings headaches. This is a side note that I want to bring you guys real quick. I get it. When you want to hit P150, you'll sign up everybody. Okay? I'm with you, man. I was there. You want to know my quick story? I recruited my second person. I didn't get 2 and free because my third person was supposed to sign up. I went IBO. The third person didn't sign up, and I had to pay my second month. But you know what I love about that story is I can sit in somebody's face and say, you know what? For 3 years I've been here, I paid for my subscription every month. Never missed a month. Never got 2 and free. So when your builder complains about, well, P150, 2 and free, you're thinking too damn small. Okay? But let's go back to the point. When you want to go P150, I get it. You'll sign up anybody. Maybe you're so close to pieces of you're like, man, my cousin, Maria, tia, da, 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 da. Bro, I've seen people recruit grandmas and they can't even use a computer. I've seen it all, right? I just get it. But, I want you to have posture. What do I mean by that? You don't need everybody. Okay? And here's the truth, guys. Look, I get it. You want the volume. You make your judgment calls. But let me tell you something. If you recruit down people that are not motivated, people that are uninspired, people that, you know what, they just don't see the vision, and you just force them to do it, you know what usually is going to happen? It's going to create a headache for you. So remember this. You can be confident. You don't have to recruit everybody. And the higher I go, the more I do this. And I get it, because sometimes, like, man, I'm one person away, you don't understand, I need this volume. I get it. But I really want you to have a leadership mindset. And if somebody becomes a headache in your organization, I give you the right. You're not going to ignore people or treat them bad. We don't do that to anybody, but I give you the right to put people on the shelf and let them be over there because you don't want negative Nancy's polluting your brain. I'm going to tell you right now, somebody in here, probably 50% of the room, has somebody in their team that calls them for every little thing. Anybody have somebody on their team that does that? Be honest. Okay, some of us. Okay. All right. The higher leaders know what I'm talking about. Some of you are those people. I get it. I get it. Some people 50s here like, hey, I'm that person, right? But listen, by the way, if you're a good person working and grinding, I don't mind people calling me, right? But here's what I will not allow and tolerate, and this is what you shouldn't allow and tolerate in your business. They didn't go into the academy, but they're asking you about this. Don't you waste your time with that, right? You told them about how to do something, and they're asking you for the 37th time the same thing. Guys have gotten really good at saying, you already know what to do. I don't answer it. Long voice notes. Hey, bro, tell me in three words what you're trying to say, right? Listen, you have to protect your energy and your time, right? So recruit up. And then people that aren't listening or following, you have the right to isolate yourself a little bit and listen, give people space. You don't need everybody in your business. Guys, my business right now, I can look at the people really doing things. It's about 10, 12 people. Obviously, you guys are coming up and you guys will be those. But I look at my business, it's like maybe 20 now. I have like 600, right? Here, I'll give you the sauce. 3 chairmen, you're a chairman 25. Put one on each leg. Can you guys do that? Who can find 3 chairmen? Let me see some hands. You guys want P150. Who can find 3 chairmen? Find 3 chairmen, plug one on each leg. You're a chairman 25. You're making over $6 grand a week. Who can live with that? That's a good deal, right? Find 3 key people. So guys, listen, I'm excited. Whatever you guys need, man, I'm here. I wanted to talk about different stuff because I know that, they're going to bring you guys some fire right now. So I started thinking, okay, what is probably like the most weirdest thing to talk about? And that's what I wanted to bring. Was really little things that I realized over time make a big difference in your business, okay? So guys, go out there and kill it, man. And always remember this, you're here to impact others. The money is awesome. Making Chairman 750 is great. But you know what's greater is that when there was a hurricane, they could send containers across the world to people in need. That's financial freedom, right? Who's next? All right. All right, so check this out. I dropped some flyers today in the leadership chat. I dropped Elaine's P150 flyer. I dropped Greg Briette's P150 flyer. I dropped Mariano's P150 flyer. And I dropped Katie's P150 flyer. But here's the funny thing about that, is that we created the flyer, and we dropped it and announced it. And then Katie tells us, the person didn't sign up.
Oh my God.
So when we promoted her as P150, she wasn't even a right? Why do I share that with you? Because all of you are either going through crap or you're going to go through some crap. And I remember Katie was so freaking excited. She texted me, I think Mike and Elaine was like, guys, there's this guy super excited. He signed up. I'm like, I hit P150. She literally was like, I hit P150. Now, when you say I hit P150, please make sure that the person card went through, the volume is 150 or 195, and you can say that it didn't happen, right? And it didn't happen. And she was a little discouraged. And you know, they went through a season where they didn't know this was for them. Just being honest, okay? Why do I share that with you? Because listen, you're all in different seasons in your business. And when I was sitting where you were, and I was like, man, if I could just be like Christopher Derrick, if I could be like Matt Green or Matt Rosa, I mean, look at them up there. And I was just sitting back there, and I was like, man, you know, those guys are so good. And that's you today. And so as you hear me, as you hear Katie, I want you to understand all that Katie did was overcome a little bit more, self-develop a little bit more, trust God a little bit more, and the chess pieces moved in her favor. The same way that they'll move in your favor. Amen, right? And so understand that. This is a young lady who's killing the game, right? Early 20s, man, and literally her and Elaine about to go chairman, right? Think about how beautiful this company is. Think about this. The company is paying me at a platinum 5,000 level, and it's paying them at a platinum 5,000 level, and paying all of you guys at whatever level, and we all have the same volume, right? How powerful is that? And you know what's going to be even crazier? The next time that we do this, we'll be chairman 10s and above, right? Yeah. So guys, please give a warm welcome to the great, soon-to-be chairman 10, Katie Vargas.
You guys hold that fire. Please give it up for Steve, man. Every time I would go to an event and I would see Steve speak, I'm like, dude, I swear there's fire coming out of his mouth every time he spoke, every word that he said. And that is so important to me because every single word that you speak as a leader is word with power, word with authority, right? Knowing where you're going, where you're going to be, the vision, right? I thought I was a P150, I wasn't, right? But I saw it, I felt it, I tasted it. He didn't actually tell you that. I remember we were all eating and I sat on a curb for like an hour with my head in my lap and I felt so defeated because I didn't get that last sign up for Platinum 150. This was almost 2 years ago, guys. And I was like, man, I thought I could be that leader. I thought I could leave a legacy. I thought I could be one to speak to people and help empower people and impact people's lives, but maybe not, you know, and I started to doubt everything just because of that one person. And every single person in this room has received a little bit of doubt because of one person, right? It's happened. I mean, it's a weakness. We don't like to spread negativity here, but it's happened. But what are we going to do? We're going to overcome. And in order to overcome, we need to have a big vision. Today's topic, how great will your legacy be?
It's great.
And the reason why I want to talk to you guys about that, and I was honestly, I didn't know what I was going to talk about until 2 hours ago. And I was like, God, you've been putting the word legacy in my heart. And there's because this company is more than just financial freedom. This company is more than just an impact. This company is more than just generational wealth. This company is you building a legacy. And that's what it is. Your great grandkids are going to know the sacrifice that you did. They're going to know what you gave up in order to give up, right? They're going to know that you put your family name at a certain height and your great grandkids don't even have to worry about how much they're going to pay for college because of what you did years ago. Every single person in this room, that's what I want you guys to see. You see, because I don't just look at the picture frame. I look at the picture frame, I look at the wall, I look at the room that it's standing in, I look at the mansion that it's inside of, I look at the soil that the mansion is built on, I look at the skies, I look at the birds, I look at everything. But sometimes we're so fixated on just looking at the picture inside of the frame. And I want you guys to open and expand your vision. I want you guys to look outside of the frame because there is more. There is more than just I Am Mastery Academy. God has created this entire platform as a vehicle, but we're all going somewhere. Imagine you're already in the vehicle. Now, where are you going? You see, Chairman 750 is just scratching the surface. That's only a part. That's only a part of it. What are you going to do if you're making $1 million a month? That's the real question. What are you going to do to impact the world? That's the real question. What are you going to do to build your legacy? That's the real question. Because Chairman 750, the fact is that it's already done for every single person inside of this room. It's already done. If you believe it, raise your hand. Chairman 750 is already done. I was almost crying because I didn't hit Platinum 150 2 years ago. And now I'm standing up and I know that Chairman 1 million is already done. And not only for me, but for every single person inside of this room. Now, what if your work ethic? How would your work ethic look like if you knew that every single morning you were waking up saying, I'm building my legacy? Not just saying, I gotta remember my why, which that's powerful too. I have a very strong why, which by the way, my voice is not cracking because I'm about to cry. My voice is cracking because I was at the Disney parks and I sound like a grandma right now. But how different would your work ethic look like if you tell yourself, I'm waking up today and I'm building my legacy? Not I'm waking up today and I'm trying to hit Platinum 1000. Not I'm waking up today and I'm trying to hit Chairman. No, I'm waking up today because I'm building my legacy. And that's what I want you guys to see, is that I Am Mastery Academy is only a puzzle piece to what it is that you are building here. But in order, that puzzle piece is so vital, okay? That's like saying you have the entire puzzle done, but the middle piece is missing. I Am Mastery Academy is that middle piece for you. So my question to you is, what are you doing to fulfill that piece inside of that puzzle? What are you doing to make sure that your puzzle is complete? Because capital, also known as money, is not everything, but it's right up there with air. And I tell people all the time, I don't remember the last time I saw somebody depressed because they won the lottery. I'm pretty sure they were very happy when they won the lottery, right? I don't think they won $1 million and they were, oh man, I won $1 million. No, they were crying of happiness. They were excited, right? They were happy. Guys, there is so many possibilities when you have finances, when you have the right heart of what you're going to go ahead and do with that, with what it is that you have, with the information that is given inside of this platform. And I wrote a couple things down and I want you guys to really resonate with this stuff. I did a training a couple days ago and it was called, do you want your leadership to leave a legacy? Because there's good leaders and then there are great leaders. There's good leaders who are remembered for their present work, but then there are great leaders who are remembered for forever because of their legacies, right? We think of people like, I don't know, MLK, for example, right? We think of Martin Luther King and the legacy that he left as a leader, right? There's even a day literally dedicated to him. He wasn't just remembered for in his time in the 60s of what he was doing. No, he's been remembered for years to come. So are you just gonna be the leader to do what you have to do to get by and to make it by, oh, just for the time that I'm alive? No. You see, I'm a leader to make sure that when I'm dead and I'm in heaven and I'm enjoying my life, hopefully they have Krispy Kreme donuts up there, I know for a fact that my legacy will live on. Not because of what I did or who I'm married to, but because of what I did once I got there and the type of impact that I was able to create. And that's what we're doing right now. And that's what I want you guys to see. I want you guys to tell yourselves every single day you wake up, I'm building my legacy today. Literally, write it down on a note, write it on your bathroom. I am building my legacy today. Okay, there's 5 essential steps to building a legacy. By the way, guys, none of this information came from a book. I didn't listen to an audio. I pray. Whenever I do trainings and stuff, I don't know what you guys believe in, but I pray. I'm like, God, what do you want me to talk about? What do people need to hear? There's a bunch of books, there's a bunch of audios that they could already have access to. What can I give to them that comes from you that is different? And it was to tell you guys that this is a little piece. I Am Mastery Academy, and it's not to de-edify the company. No, the company is incredible. I mean, my fiance soon-to-be husband is a VP. He works his butt off 24/7 for this company. But it's just a small piece of what you can be able to accomplish in this lifetime. It is a tool in the toolbox. For example, V has Global X Empire. That's her movement. Her movement is to impact the lives of over 1 million people, right? So now the vision is not just I Am Mastery Academy. She has done now a global vision of what she wants to be able to do, and then they're gonna grow from that as they continue to grow. I'm not saying for everybody to come up with a brand or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is inside of your mind, have a long-term vision because Chairman 750 is already done. Like it's not even a question. You're just going through the process. You're just going through the motions, but it's already there. It's like this water bottle. This water bottle is already mine. I've already drank out of it. I know what it feels like. I know what it tastes like because I've experienced it. Chairman 750, I know what it looks like. I know what it tastes like. I know what it is. It's already mine. It's not just manifestation. It's my belief level. And Alex Morton talks about this all the time. Your belief level. It's not just manifestation and saying, it will be mine, it is mine, it will be mine, it is mine. Yes, that's important, but knowing that it's already yours. That's it. And there is no if, ands, or buts, and nothing will get in the way between you and Chairman 750. But work ethic. That's what I want to talk to you guys about right now. There's an easy way, there's a comfortable way, and there's the hard way. I love the hard way. I love it. Why? Because I look at everything as a challenge, and that's what makes me stronger as a leader. Seriously. I'm very, both my business partner and thank God he placed Elaine in my life, but we are very independent leaders. I could have, like, I asked Jason to do this, and I think this is the first time I actually asked him to do a mastermind with us like this. I do everything on my own. Elaine does everything on her own. We work very independently because I know that if I lean on those 24/7, it's not going to help me become stronger. So when Steve was talking about independency, Elaine mentioned a little bit of independency. It's time to start believing that you are an amazing leader. All by yourself. Not saying that you need to operate alone, but knowing, man, I am an amazing leader. I used to get nervous before trainings and be like, what book should I read? Who should I get this information from? What should I do? And I stopped. I was like, no, I'm an amazing leader. I have experience. I've done this company for 2.5 years, and before that I was at another company for a year, and before that I was at another company for a year. I've been doing this for a very long time. I have experience. I need to start trusting in the wisdom that God has given me to be able to train my organization. But if I'm 24/7 focused on, I need to get this information, am I really depending on my own leadership? And I want you guys to believe that each and every one of you are very strong and independent leaders. And your work ethic will show that. And we mentioned on our leadership call on Wednesday, I said, guys, there's 3 types of leaders. There's comfortable leaders, leaders who are satisfied, not that they're satisfied with where they're at, but they're working, but they know that they can do more, and they're just doing just enough to keep them and their team happy. Oh, well, if I do 6 calls a day, that makes me happy, and I make sure my team is happy. What if you do 15 calls a day? I was in Cancun. There was a day that I did like 17 calls in a day. My whole family was in the beach, but my work ethic, right? That doesn't mean I don't know how to balance my family like I do. But I also know that in that specific time, we were launching multiple big leaders in our organization. And I couldn't just say, okay, Elaine will figure it out. She got it, which she does got it. But I'm like, no, it's our responsibility as leaders to have a strong work ethic. Elaine, can you call my sister, please? Thank you. Sorry, guys, my family actually really crazy. They got into a car accident right before I spoke, but they're okay. So thank God.
Jesus,
but
thanks Jesus.
yes, thank Jesus. But having that work ethic that surpasses somebody saying, hey, you're gonna get to work today, but that willingness to say, I'm gonna make the effort and I'm gonna work today. I remember that day that I had all those calls. Elaine was like, how did you have so many calls? What did you have scheduled? I'm like, honestly, I only had 2 calls scheduled. but my team. And I'm the type of leader, I would drop anything for my organization to make sure they're taken care of. Jason called me while I was in Disney, and I was coming off of a ride, and I see like 2 missed calls, and literally I'm like running out of the thing, and Jason's like, whatever, are you okay? I'm like, no, I actually just didn't call Jason, he called me real quick, hold on. And it was just to ask me something that had happened with an individual that he needed some advice on. And I said, yeah, I got you, bro, and I was able to take care of that issue. But knowing that at the end of the day, yes, we fight for financial freedom, but knowing that there is gonna be an army of people, if you wanna become chairman, you wanna hit that status, there's gonna be an army of people depending on you. I see a lot of the behind the scenes of my soon-to-be husband, of what he deals with, right? 2 weeks ago, we were in the park and he couldn't even go on one ride because a big issue occurred. And that issue calls for a couple hours of calls with the corporate team, but it has to happen, right? Are you guys ready for responsibility like that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You guys say, I'm ready for chairman. Are you ready for responsibility? Raise your hand. You see, because some people are saying that now, but the minute they got a margarita in their hand and they're, sipping on some stuff, going to Mexico, they're like, well, hold on a second, I'm kind of on vacation right now. No, the reality is that if you're in this business, your life is a vacation. Your life is a vacation. So when I go somewhere, I just say it's a change of scenery. I don't call it vacation. It's just a change of scenery. I'm still doing the same exact thing. It's just a change of scenery. Jason taught me that. I had an employee mindset. He's like, babe, because I was like, babe, we're going on 20 vacations. I can't even, what's happening? He goes, babe, are you allergic to using your phone in a different location? And I'm like, no. He's like, okay, then you're just changing scenery. You have an employee mindset. Because think about it, when we all used to work, we would go on vacation. What was it? I'm not answering the phone. My boss is calling me. I'm on vacation. But with what we do right now, this isn't a vacation. This is a lifestyle. And at the end of the day, obviously, we're all eventually going to get to a position where we can disconnect. Okay? Alex Warner was talking about that, but right now, it's just not that time. There's too many people and lives that are on the line. Jason, honestly, he could disconnect if he really wanted to fall off the face of the earth, and he could live a very happy life. The only reason why he keeps answering calls and he keeps staying connected, he was even helping B do some calls in Cancun, right? And the reason why he does stuff like that is because he just genuinely cares about helping other people rise to the top. It doesn't really benefit, at this moment in time, it really just doesn't benefit him. Like, he just genuinely does it to help people. And I've seen that type of heart, and I'm like, man, I need to reciprocate that. How can I reciprocate that? How can I literally tell myself, you're not going to make $1, but can you do 14 calls today with individuals who need your help? Elaine was talking, we've had people who reach out to us all the time. I'm doing a mastermind training call for another organization that I literally don't even know I just met the leader, a 1-hour call for her and her team on a Sunday, which I don't like doing calls on Sundays. That's the only day that I like to have off for my family, but I said yes. Oh, my team really looks up to you. They know who you are. I know you don't really know us, but we would love for you to have. Perfect. I'll do it. Because I genuinely care, right? So I'm going to name these 5 things right now. 5 essential steps to building a legacy. Number 1, you need to have a strong belief level. Number 1, a strong belief level. You need to know it's already yours. And you guys have heard this time and time again. But I want you to see it. I want you to smell it. I want you to taste it. I want you to know what you're going to wear when you walk the chairman's stage. I want you to know what it's going to feel like. Every time I literally do it probably at least once a week where I envision myself walking the chairman's stage and I almost cry. Every time. Because I knew I worked my freaking to get there. Literally. And it took the best, all of me. Elaine and I were at a brunch the other day, and one of these girls, she was like just asking us, she had no interest in joining the business. She just said, I really want to meet you girls. I don't want to join IM, but I'm so inspired and I need to be lifted up. And Elaine and I met up with her for lunch, and she was so sweet. And she was like, you guys have no idea, I've been so lost in this season of my life. For you guys to take time to just meet up with me and speak life into me means so much to me. And listening to her say that, she started asking about chairman and literally got emotional. And I never cry, like ever. And I literally look at Elaine and I started getting emotional because when I think of chairman, I think of my family. When I think of chairman, I think of my team's family, right? I think of what it's gonna go ahead and do for them. So I want you guys to have that strong belief level of what it's gonna look like, taste like, and feel like. Number 2, willingly work hard at everything you do, on and off scene. What do I mean by on and off scene? That means that you're putting in the work in front of Zoom and not in front of Zoom. You're putting in the work on Instagram and not on Instagram. You're putting in the work in front of your mentors and not in front of your mentors. That you are literally working and you don't need to even say that you're working hard for people to know that individual works hard. Let your work ethic do the talking. Stop speaking about what you've done, what you've accomplished, what you did. Great. Moving forward. Let your action do the talking. Be willing to work. Willing is so important, guys. Don't wait on your mentors to tell you what you should be doing right now. Act. Go to your mentors. Hey, Katie, we have this idea. Hey, Elaine, what do you think about this? We want to go ahead and start implementing this. What do you guys? Get innovative. Start thinking on your own, right? Start running on your own. Because at the end of the day, God forbid something happens, your success is going to be relying on us, or is it going to be relying on you? I seriously want you guys to start thinking and moving at your own pace. Again, on and off the screen, on scene. Real leaders move in silence. That's not a point, but that's just a point that I'm making. That's still number 2. But real leaders move in silence. Elaine is a silent killer. Sometimes people are like, oh, she's kind of soft-spoken. I'm like, you don't know. That girl will crack a whip real quick. Like, yeah, I'm a little bit more loud, but her leadership is just as amazing, if not more. Right? Everybody has their own separate style of how they lead. But real leaders work in silence. And I want you guys to have that sink in for a second. Number 3, and you guys have heard this many times, become great at a few things and stick to it. Like Steve was saying, you don't need to be a professional trader. That's why we have Go Live. You need to become great at a few things. Okay? So if I know my strength is training and recruiting, then I'm going to continue to run towards that. But I'm going to find my weaknesses and I'm going to fix that. That doesn't mean I'm going to run away from my weaknesses, right? That means I'm going to run towards them, okay? But I want you guys to find your strengths. Steve had this super great thing that he mentioned, and I'm going to have him drop it in the chat box. It's a leadership strength test. And it will literally tell you what your strengths are as a leader and apply that to your business. Okay, number 4. Number 4, scale your business. You want to be a legacy leader? You want to build a legacy? You need to learn how to scale your business. That means you need to know who your audience is. That means that if somebody throws Steve in a room with girls from Beverly Hills, he's going to be able to sign them all up. But if somebody throws Steve in a room with a bunch of people who are in gangs, he's going to sign them all up. That if they throw Steve in a room of Muslims, he's going to sign them all up. Scaling your business. You want to grow? You need to know who your audience is. If you become a leader that operates at the same beat every single time, and people don't move to the rhythm of your beat, they're not going to want to work with you. That's just the truth. I've learned that I'm like, I need to know how to work with Muslims. I need to know how to work with Jewish people. I need to know how to work with French people. I need to know how to work with Serbia people. I need to know how to work with these type of people. I need to know how to work. That's how you become a well-rounded leader. That's how you scale your business. That's why with culture, culture is important. Family. Our culture, one team, one dream. Because we're all one family. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to have one intricate, detailed culture and people are going to say, oh, their team is this type of people. Nope. We don't have a type. We're diverse. And that's the way I like it. Because if we have a type, that means we're only going to attract the type. But if we are diverse, then we're going to attract diversity. And if we are attracting diversity, we are attracting multitudes of people. Is that a fact or a fact? So Elaine and I went to New York City, and we were in a room with a bunch of people who had just came out of jail. Elaine and I were doing a huge event. Elaine was a little scared, like she just did it right now. I wasn't. I'm like, God's favor is over me, so I'm good. And I'm like, Elaine, we got this. And she's like, yeah, we got this. Elevation time. And you know what? People like that, they literally almost cried because of how grateful they were that people actually gave them an opportunity of change. But you need to know how to work with your audience. Don't be a specific type. Be diverse. And attract diversity. And attract multitudes of people every single place that you go. This is how you scale your business. This is how you build a legacy. You're not going to be able to build a legacy if you only attract one type of person. But when you attract different type of people every single place that you go, your business is now going to scale globally. So maybe I don't know how to speak the language, but I'll be like, is there a translator? And I'll make it work. Are you guys ready to have international teams? Are you guys ready to work with people of different values, beliefs, religions, and cultures? Because that's the kind of vision that we're looking at today. We're looking at a big vision where you see everything, not just a piece. Number 5, change your focus from receiving to giving. Help other leaders build legacies. You see, the reason why I say this is because it is so important. And this is something I learned years ago. My pastor told me. We are here to serve, not to be served. And if you always have that mindset, I'm here. What happens when people come over your house? Do you guys want water? Do you guys need anything? Right? You serve your guests. In your organization, you serve your leaders. And how much you want to bet you're going to get served 100 times back. Don't expect anything from anybody. Nothing is given, it is earned. And your work ethic will show every single time. I don't look for gratitude. I don't ask for gratitude. Sometimes I tell Jason, did I do good, baby? And he'll tell me, but that's the only one. But I don't look for gratitude. I don't ask for it. I just work. So every single person in this room, I don't want you guys to look for gratitude. I don't want you guys to look for a spotlight. The spotlight will find the ones that are shining. But if you're looking for a light, your light will grow dim, I promise you. Because that's called ego. And ego will fall. But if you are humble and you are just working with your head down and you're just working and you're working and you're working, nobody's going to care. They're not going to say, man, that person is, you could tell they're looking for the spotlight, man. That person, you could see right through that stuff, guys. It's transparency. But when you are like, I'm 1000% here for my organization, my work ethic is this way because I love my team that much. That's it. It's as simple as is. And I'm going to say this one more time because I really feel like we need to hear this, and then I'm going to stop talking. My voice is going out. There is a big difference between good leaders and great leaders. Good leaders are remembered for present time, and great leaders will be remembered forever. Thank you guys so much for having me. And I'm going to go ahead. My mentor, this individual, I honestly, I wouldn't even be talking here if it wasn't for him. When Elaine and I talk about Steve and we talk about Mike, they were the two originals who literally would just not stop believing in us. So when you guys have those people in your life that are literally fighting for your success and they're literally fighting for you to win, those are the type of people that you hold close to you. They're literally going to our wedding. They're family to us. To Elaine, to our entire process. We would not be where we are today, guys. Mike Sotero, he's a Chairman 25, about to smack Chairman 50. and his work ethic is like no other. Guys, go ahead.
Well, you guys obviously earned the right to be here, so give a light round of applause. Cool. I got you. All right, so I'm going to be pretty short at this, about 20 minutes. You guys have Jason Brown to close this thing out. And I want to talk about 3 things. So I encourage everybody writing this stuff down. I got to get to a birthday dinner in like 45 minutes. That's about 45 minutes away. So all good. It's okay. We're going to make this work out. Yeah. 22 days. Does anybody know what ends in 22 days? Orlando retreat qualification. Okay, everybody knows the qualification. If you're in this room right now, you have enough time. I don't care if you're a P150 or you're a P1000, and you've been a P1000, you got to qualify for this. Okay. We've announced so far that are not P5000 of the team. Justin Saini, steady educator. We announced. What else did we announce? We got Ness Vasquez. So just educators. Ness Vasquez. I'm gonna tell you this right now. We got Mr. Lizaldo Tavares, Chairman 50 from Gold Cup. He's coming to Orlando. So right now, it's literally blitzing for these next 22 days. And what I want to share with you guys in a short amount of time, I just literally uploaded this to Apple Music and Spotify. This training talks about 5 things. I want to share 2 of them with you. It's already on. And on the Zoom call right now, my buddy Christian's watching. Christian got started yesterday. Okay, he's already. He's been in the business, but he's re-rocking with us right now. That started yesterday, basically. And one of the things I talk about in this audio is 2 things I want to share with you guys here. Everybody, raise your hand if you're a P150. Okay, to go from 150 a month to 5,000 a month, there's things that you have to learn. Raise your hand if you're a P600 or above. Okay, to go from that level to 5,000 a month or to 10,000 a month, there's things that you have to learn. Now, here's what happens at P150 is you get desperate for signups. And you try to sign up everybody, and you think everybody belongs in your business. Let me tell this to you right now. Most people don't belong in your business.
Yeah.
How many of you guys know that? Not everybody belongs, okay? So 2 things I want to share with you is this, okay? 1 is how do you actually qualify somebody that should be in your business? Because some of y'all just let everybody in, and you wonder why your volume goes up and down. So how to qualify, pre-qualify. You guys are laughing. And then the second thing I want to share is how to tap root. The reason why I brought up Christian's name is because he got reactive yesterday. So here's what we did. Okay, I'm going to talk about how to tap root first. Here's what tends to happen. Write this down. Amateurs add people to their business. Professionals learn how to multiply. See, leaders know how to multiply 1 person and turn it into 50 in a month. If your business is adding right now, it's probably doing this. Add 5 this week, 3 quit. Add 6 this week, 7 quit. And you're never going to go anywhere. You're never going to have that quantum leap. Write this book down. It's called U Squared. U Squared. Y-O, just like this, but with a U. Okay? So here's what happens. Right now, you're at Platinum 150. You know why legs of businesses die? You know why sometimes momentum stops? It's because the last person stops recruiting. Mm-hmm. This is a leadership conversation, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. I don't know. So if this person doesn't have an accountability partner, if you don't tap into this person, it stops. So here's what Christian did literally yesterday. He was at my house, crazy. What I had him do, and I talk about it in the audio, is we're going to tap root the top 5. Let's say I enroll Val right now. Val's brand new. There's 3 types of people that join this company. What are they? Number 1?
2 and 3.
Say that again. Everybody say it again.
2 and 3.
2 and 3. Just trading? Cool. Just trade with the 5. 2 and 3. What's the second type?
2 and 3.
What like kind of income a month? 600 a month, 1,000 a month. And then what's the type 3?
Chairman.
You want to go chairman. So you got to ask them what type of person are you? They give you the answer. Now, if your intention is pure, here's what they're going to say. So I'm going to say, Val, what type are you? Give me any number. Give me any number, type 1, 2, or 3.
Oh, type 3.
Type 3. Okay, great. So here, Val, you're serious about going chairman, right? Okay, here's what I need you to do. She just signed up. While you're going through your academy tonight and get everything figured out, I need you to connect me in 5 group chats right now. See, here's what happens, is if I don't do that and Val goes home and talks to her boyfriend or her husband, when she talks to her mom or dad and they call it a scam, guess what? She quits. Is that going to happen in this business sometimes?
Yes.
Yes. But here's what happens. What if I taproot Val the day that she got started, now I have 5 other contacts? So now here's what I do is I get into 5 group chats. I'm gonna come back here in a second. 5 chats, first day. Here's the conversation. You do not talk about money, Forex, anything like that. Here's the conversation. It's a group chat on social media. And all I would say, or all Val would say, is, hey, John, I want to introduce you to Mike. Mike's somebody that I'm working with, super successful guy, and we want to see if you're a good fit for our team. That's it. Now, as an upline, now raise your hand if you're a P150 and above. Everybody's hand should go up, right? So, who snuck in here? I used to sneak into training. Jason definitely. Jason stuck in a training as well, and turned out well for him. So, right, Jason knows. We used to sneak in everything. Okay, so trainings. Talk about trainings. So 5 chats. We make the conversation. Now, as an upline, you have, now this is the most important thing. You have to know these questions. I'm going to give you the 3 questions here. You have to know how to pre-qualify somebody. What's our mentality? I want to make sure this person is qualified to work with me. If you go get a mortgage, they just give you the house? No. There's a pre-qualification period, right? So when you're speaking to people, don't speak to them like you're better and they're worse, none of that stuff. But here are questions. So Val puts me in the chat. Give me one of your prospects' names right now.
Prospects?
Yeah.
Sebastian.
Sebastian. So I'm going to say, hey, Sebastian, great to meet you. Where are you from? Quick conversation. Val was telling me that you're a hard worker. So here's the first question when it comes to pre-qualifying. Okay, right? This is all in the audio, but I want to just give it to you guys here. Are you willing to work? So are you somebody that's a hard worker? See, here's what I'm doing. I'm asking that person, would you be a good fit for our team? What do you bring to our team? Not, hey, you need to do this, bro. We're going to make a lot of money. That's where people get messed up. And at P150, this is where it starts. Because at P150, you're not making a lot of money, but you have to carry yourself like you are. When I was broke in this industry and had no income and had no story, guess whose story I was telling? My upline story. And now a lot of those uplines aren't even in the industry. They aren't even making any money. It's sad, but this is the truth. So I'll ask them, number 1, hey, are you somebody that's a hard worker? Yeah, I'm a hard worker. Now, what do they start doing? They start selling themselves on why they should work with you. Why they exactly that's what I'm saying. Here's number 2. That's a terrible 2. Are you somebody that's coachable? Hey, trading takes time, this business takes time. Are you somebody that's willing to learn and give this thing some time? Are you somebody that's coachable? They said, yeah, I'm willing to coach. Yeah, all that stuff. You guys get it. Now, here's the third thing. And this you can ask them before or after they get involved. Hey, are you somebody that's willing to give this 12 months? Because look, if I'm going to work with you, Brandon, you have to be committed to this for 12 months. If not, this ain't going to work. You know why I'm pre-qualifying them? So when they join the business, they treat it like a business. When you just sign people up at P150, I heard Steve was saying it. You'll enroll anybody at P150, right? You try to get the volume. Guys, I don't care about the volumes here today. If it's gone in 30 days, you just wasted time. You know how many people we see hit ranks and they go back 2 or 3 ranks 30 days later? It's called fake volume. It's called fake ranks. I'd rather be at a rank for a year and actually have that income than be like a roller coaster like it was in our first company and like it is in a lot of other companies. So here's my mentality. I'm going to tap into every person. Christian reactivated yesterday. What did Christian do? 5 group chats. Christian enrolled somebody while he was at my house yesterday. Here's the crazy part. So this is Christian. He enrolled Chase, I think. Chase did the same thing. Chase this morning enrolled his first customer. Chase's first customer is in 3 group chats right now, and they're about to enroll a brand new customer. What did I just do in 24 hours? I created what? Momentum. And if you're a leader in this room, you should be able to create momentum at any time in your business. Whether you're chairman 10 or you're P150. And I've been saying this on every freaking Instagram live. If your income is high and your skills, it's hard to write like this, are low. Okay, if your income's up here and your skill set's down here, it'll always meet you where you're at. See, I was not struggling in network marketing for a while, but I wasn't having massive success. But I was getting better for when the right opportunity showed up. Then my income could catch up to my skill set. See, the problem is people don't work on themselves. And at Platinum 150, this is where it starts. Because if you can't help somebody hit P150, You can't help somebody hit P1000. You won't hit P1000. Raise your hand if you know this is a business of duplication. Yeah. You can be the best presenter in the world. Nobody cares. Because you know what people do when they see Val present? She's too good. Can't do it. And if people think that, that's why when you present the information, if you start talking about Fibonacci and you start talking about Bollinger Band, they're done. They're done. They're done. They might join, but they're going to be confused. Write this down. How you recruit somebody is how they're going to try to recruit their friend. So when I'm taprooting, it's a duplicatable system because anybody can make 5 chats. And then, now raise your hand if you've done a 3-way call in the room. Now you get on the phone. What conversation are you having with the prospect? The questions. And now you're not wasting time. Guys, I asked somebody the other day, this is the question, you can write it down, okay? You can write this question down. I asked somebody the other day straight up, yo, I gotta see if you're qualified to work with me. And I wanna know if you're doing money. How much money do you have saved up right now? He said $4,000. I said, great, he's qualified to work with me. Now in my head. Now, you guys are laughing, this is serious. Now, what objection can he now not give? Money. You just don't get money. This isn't like high ticket sale. This is just, I asked him a question. I said, bro, I want to see if you're qualified to work with me. I have 2,000 people on the team. I can't spend time with everybody. He got started literally right after that calling me. Now you have to be careful how you use that. Okay? Don't be asking people, yo, how much you got in your check? Don't be asking people that. Okay? But don't be hitting people up asking them, which one you got to say. Don't. It's how you present the information now. Okay, everybody got that? Okay. Remember, you're a P1, we said, everybody here said a P150, chairman was a P150 that refused to quit. Okay?
Are you doing that before you like present everything? Like, or put them in a...
Bro, if I sign you up right now, you're getting your 2 and 3 tonight.
No, man, like asking those 3 questions.
The upline's gonna do that.
Like the group chat.
Yeah, so if you're Val's upline, she makes the group chat with me, I'm the prospect, you're gonna ask me those questions.
Yeah.
She's brand new. Your goal, if you enroll with Val, is to help her go P150 in 24 hours. If she's gonna just get 2 and 3, help her do that. See, here's why people quit. Okay, does it make sense for somebody to quit if they have a break-even business in America or in the world? No. But here's the problem: is people, they enroll 3 or 4 or 5 people, they just put them on the products and they say figure it out, and you wonder why you derank 30 days later. How many people have ever deranked in here? You know why that happens? It's because the brand new people on level 4 to 8 to 10 for the P1Ks in this room, 10, maybe 10, 12 levels, there's a disconnection over there. You got people doing one thing over here, you got people doing one thing over there, and there's a disconnect. How many ever felt that way? And when there's a disconnect, there's confusion. And when there's confusion, a confused mind does what? Nothing. Guys, you'll hit chairman, you might feel confused at points. You have to realign and remember what works. Taprooting works. I was taprooted. I'm gonna answer your question right now. The person that enrolled me into this industry, and Jay, I'm bringing you up in 12 minutes. The person that enrolled me into this industry, he's scamming people right now, I just found out. Or he actually told me about the industry. He didn't sign me up. This isn't Jason. This is no, in the industry. In the industry. No wonder. In the industry. Dude, I just got a message. He told me about our first company. Crazy. Check this out. He told me about our first company, didn't sign me up. I was a referral. Basically, his upline taprooted for him to get to me. And if he would have just signed me up, we would have made like 20, 30 grand on the matching bonus, but he didn't. It's okay. So what I'm saying is that when you enroll somebody, they're called level 1. The key is to get to the 4th to 8th level. How do you do that? Taproot. What was your question?
It might be similar to his chats. You have these chats, you reach out to the taprooted.
Yeah.
Are you presenting after they answer these questions?
Yeah, so now, okay, this is a good question. Thank you. Guys, check this out. So I'm the upline. Now, as the upline, your job is to get that person in front of the information. So you're either going to have them watch a video or you're going to invite them to the next call. Now, should you just send them the video randomly?
No.
No. Make sure they can watch it. And then you should be on the phone 10 minutes after the video ends, answering their questions. So that's the process. The group chat, and then as the upline, because Val's brand new, she doesn't know how to invite. And look, if you teach people how to invite day one and they quit day two, that's why. They're overloaded with all this information. They think they got to be a master of social. They think all this stuff. That's why. If it's not simple, especially in the first 72 hours, here's what the new person's thinking. You guys know people join and they still doubt this, right? Now, what is your job as a leader to do? Help them get a belief. How can you do that? They can recruit somebody, or they can make some money trading. I want to help them do both in their first 24 to 48 hours. That make sense? So you as the upline, bro, you gotta get a Dodgers hat. They lost that shit. Where'd you go? Oh, no. He's mad, real mad. You didn't talk. I tried to call him last night, didn't answer. Well, he's still not.
Don't think about it.
Have the same movie we had last time.
Looking at the Dodgers window. So that makes sense. Take them to the video. Okay. Now, before you guys leave here, after Jason speaks later tonight, if not tomorrow, no, do it today before you leave here. I want you to put somebody in your upline in a group chat and have that conversation. You guys can use me. You guys can put me all in a group chat. I'm not going to reply tonight. I'll reply tomorrow. Everybody here can put me in a group chat with one of your top prospects. Now, here's the key. Make sure they haven't seen anything. I'm going to show you how to take them from the video or from the list to the information. I did this with my Ireland team. We're good on time. I did this with the Ireland team last week. It was 14 of them. We have a P600 there. They put me in, I said 10 each. I was answering calls for like 4 hours. I was in 140 group chats. We had a Zoom call. That's the trench work. I want to get to 100 grand a month. I got to help more people get to P150, P600. It's the truth. And the second that, look, raise your hand if you feel like your list has ever ended. Raise your hand and say it if you feel like you've ran out of people to talk to. Yeah, good. Here, okay, if you ever feel that way, remember this. You left phase one. You stopped doing the things that got you to P150. What are the 3 skills? Prospecting, presenting, promoting. The second that you stop prospecting, your team stops. Okay? So I want to just really stick with this. How to tackle it. The 5 group chats when they enroll. Okay? When you're the upline in the situation, you're pre-qualifying and asking those questions. And remember, even when you're prospecting your people, you can use these questions. I've recruited people that make way more money than I do. When I was 18, I was recruiting older people that were way older than me, and asking them these questions. Why? How? Confidence, posture, but it's how you ask them. Hey, Chase, I'm just real curious, man. I know you work at Chase Bank. You know, this is an example, though. I recruited the bank manager at Chase. And not because it's on my account, I recruited him when I was in jail before. And then he starts treating me all different right after. So I asked him, before I recruited him, I was like, yo, how do you like working here? Yo, you made me a good fit for our team. I like how you dress. I like your top compliment. And I said, yo, what are you doing tonight at 7:30? He's like, yo, I'm going to be working here till like 9. I said, great, no worries. Do you work here every day to that late? He said, yeah, I hate it. Okay, great. That's easy. If I would you. Yo, if there was a way to get you out of here, would you be open to taking a look? Yeah. This was a couple of days ago. And now he's watching the video, and I actually meet up with him at Panera Bread on Monday. Simple conversation. And then what am I gonna do on Monday? Yo, what do you bring to the table here? Can you put some more money in my account? What's good? Okay. So any questions on these 2 things?
I have a
Yes.
question. When I talk to people, and I do it all the time,
Yeah.
like everybody does, and I want to Google it.
Yeah.
Let me look into it.
Research?
I'm like, yeah.
I talk about that in one of the
And
videos,
I-
one of the things on the Apple Music, Spotify thing, on the
Okay.
album, how to handle rejection. That's just a rejection. But when somebody says they want to do more research, give them the research. Hey, what do you want to see?
Mhm.
Well, I want to see if people actually trade. Well, send them a trading video.
Okay.
I've been using the HFX Fast Start training video to recruit people into the business.
Okay.
Like, bro, if there was a way to make money in minutes, would you take a look at it? Yeah. And I sent them a training video. The video doesn't even talk about the price.
Okay.
And then I leveraged upline, another story.
Thank you. Thank you.
You got it. Any other questions on this? Okay. Now remember, don't be asking people how much money they got saved or all that stuff after. Okay. But there needs to be a sequence. And you have to understand, I think Steve, somebody was talking about Katie, they were talking about recruiting up. You see people hit Chairman 10 and Chairman 25 fast, they recruit up. They recruit people that have influence. Okay? If you're recruiting down the entire time, it's just a slower process. Just slower process. Okay, and the last thing I'm gonna say is this. I literally just left this topic. When your income's here and your skills are here, see, learning how to pre-qualify somebody is a skill set. Learning how to present is a skill set. But I'm telling you right now, at P150 and P600, you could be underpaid for a very long time. Like I was, like Jason was, like Matt was. But we kept getting good. And we have to continue getting good and continue to grow, to go to the next level. And eventually, thinking Gervich says eventually, it catches up. But here's what happens. What if you quit the night before a future Chairman 10 would have joined your business? And you know what happens? Is you know where they're going to come in from? And you know what's going to happen? Maybe all these people freaking quit.
Yeah.
The person right above Steve quit. Or not right above Steve, but people above Steve quit. There are people on the top of my business quit. That sucks. There are people that were above Jason and Matt, right? That quit. They couldn't stay long enough because they couldn't see the vision. They only had sight. And they only saw the result that was in front of them. And I'm telling you, if you just keep getting good and you just keep showing the plan, maybe not this week, but you got 22 days to get to Orlando.
Let's go.
Raise your hand if you're going to be in Orlando. I don't know if Jason's coming, but we'll find out in 22 days. But gotta get the flyer made. Staying. I'm just kidding. Matt said he wasn't coming. I'm just kidding. I didn't ask him. Okay. So 22 days. Now, what's the fastest way to go P1? Help 10 people go P150. Fastest way to go P6? Help 4 people go P150. Raise your hand. Okay, watch this. Last thing I'm gonna say. Raise your hand if you're less than 4 customers away from P600. Oh, 1, 2. So less than 4 away from P6. How many? Raise your hand one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now raise your hand. So 6 people for that. Raise your hand if you're less than 7 away from P1. Andrew. Okay. Anybody close to P2 here? Okay. Y'all got to go P2 to get to Orlando. If you were a P1 before September 1st, you got to go P2. 1. How many close to P6 again? If we just focus on helping you guys go P6, in the next 72 hours, you'll have 19 days to go P1. You can go P1 in 19 days. You believe that? You guys believe that? Everybody believes that. I'm telling you, we're probably invested. We'll probably finish off around $10,000 invested in this retreat. Between myself and the P5Ks. Between 8 to 10 grand. And it's not about the money. The result that's going to happen from the retreat, but I'm telling you this right now. The experience of the 3 days is going to be the information that catapults 2021. That's where we're going to be planning tours and all that type of stuff. But when you can get in those types of environments, there's 3 houses. There's a P1 house, there's a P2000 house, there's a P5000 house. And there's going to be things that the P1s don't do that the P2s do. Or vice versa. P2s do and P1s don't do. So you want to push. Everybody in this room can qualify. Everybody in this room has enough time to qualify. What's the fastest way for you to do it? And I'm not saying just push the business. Don't get what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is you need to start tap rooting through the people on your team. People say yes, they say no, or you get a referral. When people tell you yes or no, you stop there. I get referrals. I ask them, okay, it's not for you, but who do you know? Who do you know? You know John Maxwell? You guys don't know John Maxwell?
Yes.
Oh, scared me out here. Okay. Study him. John Maxwell met a professor at a university. He asked the professor, who do you know that I should know? The professor introduced him to John Wooden, all-time winningest coach of college basketball. John Wooden mentored John Maxwell. John Maxwell's rated like 5,000 books. John Maxwell's made like $400 million. Some of you don't even know that. What does he study? What does he teach? Leadership. Yeah. What do the best leaders in this company do? They do this. You look at Cash the Great, Chairman 100. Cash was in my car at the chairman retreat, and like, me and Cash are cool. We never hung out like that. Cash was in my car for an hour in traffic, tap rooting. He gave him a phone with the barista at Starbucks that was signing up. He got the barista to take all the people, the employees in the back and do a presentation on the phone. I was like, holy snap, tap room. Why does somebody make $1.5 million a year? He ain't scared to talk to people. He ain't scared to tap room. but you're scared of what people think about you. When you eliminate that, you'll be tapping everybody. So guys, I appreciate you. What I want you to do tonight or tomorrow is to put me in one Instagram chat. And I want you to say, hey, John, I want to introduce you to somebody that I'm working with, whatever you want to say. Really busy, successful guy, whatever you say. I don't care. Here's the key word. We want to see if you're a good fit for our team. And watch how I take that person in front of the information. And we can, right here, we could add 10 people in the next 24 hours. Okay? So guys, I don't think he needs an introduction. He let us come to his house, which he doesn't have to do. And he's somebody that I'm following, you know, for a very long time. He's the person that got me started in this company. I saw him at LA Fitness, February 2017. He tried to recruit me to invite him to a Super Bowl party. That didn't work. And then 6 months later, we made the decision. And guys, one of the most humble leaders, CH750. I don't know what happened last night though, but we're not talking about that. But Mr. Jason Brown, let's go.
I'm still mourning my Yankees, but I'm excited to be here, and I appreciate you all. I am here. This is my house, but I'm excited. Excited for you guys to be here. You know, on a day-to-day basis, I get to work with most of you, or get to observe your guys' work, and some of you guys are new, so super excited. And you guys got a lot of value tonight between Steve and Mike, Katie, and Elaine. Let's give them a big hand. You know, look, I've been a part of this business now for 5 years. I've been a part of network marketing for 7. And I want to share a little bit of that story because you guys are at the phase now where I was actually stuck for like 2 years, you know, between 150 to 600 bucks a month. And we made it out. You know, Matt and I made it to a point now where we're known around the world for what we did, but in reality, we could have easily had nothing if we had quit. Right? So I think that there's a lot to be said about sight and vision, right? Because it's always one side of the ball for every single person. So you guys as leaders need to understand that first in order to be able to teach it and be able to disseminate it to the people that are coming into your business. Because it's easy to get people in the door, believe it or not. It's just not that easy to get them to stay unless you are properly positioned as a leader. And a lot of the times, you know, I get to see the company from an umbrella perspective. So I get to see the different teams, the different cultures, the different leaders, and I get to see where there's a lot of retention and I get to see where there's not a lot of retention. And there's really certain factors that create that retention. And a lot of it honestly comes down to the individual. So it's not really the business. It's not really the compensation plan. It's not really the services, but it's you. And it's your perception about what this is and how you draw the picture for the newest person coming in. Yeah, I always tell people, we get a blank slate when somebody joins, right? Now, Mikey drew all over this thing. But to the average person, it's just a blank whiteboard. It has no writing on it. They're excited. Maybe they're looking for opportunity. Honestly, with the world we live in right now, sometimes they're desperate, thank you. Sometimes they're desperate for opportunity, right? Because we'll catch people now that just need to make money. They don't really care, right? So they come in and they have this blank piece of paper. And whatever we tell them is what will start to create the lines, like a coloring book, right? That will start to give them the outline, the blueprint of what they're actually stepping into. And then they get the crayons and they start coloring, right? So over the course of the last 7 years, I've really studied leadership psychology. I've studied launching psychology. I've studied every single aspect of the business because I like to be as close to elite as possible. And I always had this mentality, even when I was making no money. I remember showing up to my first convention back in 2014, maybe. Yeah, it was like early 14, late 2013. And no, it was probably 2014. And I went to this convention. I was like equivalent to Platinum 600. But in that company, you know, we had like 100 customers. We were making like $400 a month. You guys are blessed, by the way. If you've never been in another company, you don't really know how blessed you are. I hear some people giggling. You're safe now. But in that company, people were coming up to me and they thought that I was a six-figure earner. Matt will tell you he thought that I was a six-figure earner. So it's not so much about, what you're making. That's, people tell you, people say to me all the time, Jay, people always say to me, how much money are you making? That doesn't really matter. Guys, I've never signed somebody up because of the money that I was making or the money that I wasn't making. Leadership is a decision, right? And it's this paradigm that you create that actually forces you into that role. You got to see it before it happens. So when we bring people in, I had this elite level mentality because I wanted to be great. And that's the first question I'm going to ask you guys. Do you actually want to be great? Because I think it's easy, and no offense to anybody, but I've traveled the world and I see people jump on tables and jump on chairs and scream, I'm a chairman, but a month later they quit. It's free to raise your hand. That's the truth. It's free to say, I want to be successful. It's free to jump on a webinar and type some sevens in the chat box if you're excited. That's free. Here's the cost. The cost is the work that gets you from A to B, right? A to Z. So remember, motivation, to me, it's a little bit overrated. That's why you won't see me come from a place of like, let's get fired up. Like, yeah, I'm gonna bring some energy. But I also think that sometimes we can get so captivated in motivating people that we're motivating an empty vessel.
Great.
So don't buy too much into the hype. And I love this industry and I love people. But at the end of the day, hype is overrated. Here's the truth. As a great leader, you must be able to solve every possible problem. The reason why people respect me, I never ask for it. I can honestly care less. I'm a very simple person. This is how I dress 99% of the time. When I go to convention, I'm like, please get me out of the suit ASAP. So the pandemic, it's horrible, but being home for 7 months, I'm not that upset. Simple not. But at the end of the day, I think about like Star Wars and how Yoda was a problem solver. That's how you have to be. You have to forget about how many people you enroll for a second, right? Because guess what? At the end of the day, if you're a great leader, you're going to enroll a lot of people. If you're a problem solver, you're going to enroll a lot of people. If you're a solution maker, you're going to attract a lot of people. So forget about all that for a second. You got to be able to fill yourself up to solve every problem, to be able to answer every question. And I know some of you guys are new, some of you guys are just figuring out trading, some of you guys are really interested in going chairman. That's beautiful. It will be done if you make the decision for it to be done. There's some gaps that you have to fill in before you can actually create the outline of the company. Does that make sense? Because here's the thing, sometimes we come in, we have the blank slate, and we're trying to figure out what our pattern looks like, yet we're still trying to get a pattern created for the person that we just brought on. You guys have to constantly fill your cup. When I first got into this industry, I worked already in nightlife. And so I was actually thrown into a position because I created a college party. They recruited me. They're like, dude, this guy can fill the room. Come, here's a job. I got a job. At first, my friend was like, yo, I recommended you to be the VP. I'm like, dude, I am not qualified to run this company. By far, I'm not. I just know how to get people in the door. Relationships. Same thing we do here. So anyway, created a good success story, went, opened up the club, found a way to do it, killed it, sold bottles to people that couldn't afford them. I did the whole thing, right? So I have a little bit of experience, but when I jumped into the profession, notice that word. I want to remove the word industry, business. It's a profession, to be honest. The reason why Matt and I went from 25 grand a month in 2 years to 500 is because we started to think like professionals. The day you treat this as a profession is the day it becomes one. Other than that, it's just a hobby that you're trying to make some money off of. And that's like my dad collecting baseball cards. We have a room in our house filled with baseball cards collecting dust since I was born. That's a hobby. Now, my dad treated it like a profession. He'd be selling them on eBay. There's probably some money in there, but it's literally a room, like a quarter size man cave filled with baseball cards. Wow. How much they're worth, I don't know. But he's treating it like a hobby, not a profession. And I think that's the biggest weight, the biggest anchor that people hold in this business. Is that they don't treat it like a profession, they treat it like a hobby. So they say, look, hey, if the hobby works out, cool. We'll collect some customers, we'll collect some residual income. And you know, if a couple customers fall out, all good, life goes on. And that's fine. This isn't do or die. This isn't like you have to do this. You guys all volunteered to be in this company. You all volunteered to actually step up and build, and you all volunteered to be here tonight. Volunteered. This isn't, I'm not your boss. You won't ever have a boss here. But you got to treat it like a profession. And I came in, you know, and I remember we used to work in my upline's apartment. Similar to this. Similar setup. He had a TV here. They used to play videos, and we would have prospects come over. So one of the first nights that I got into this, actually, I think it was the first night he signed me up at Lowe's, which is like the great value Chipotle. And Moe's is lit, but it ain't Chipotle. You know, Chipotle, everything's very clean. Moe's, you got like chicken in the steak. Little detail, right? So he signs me up at Moe's. And I threw my credit card. I said, bro, sign me up. Makes sense. Let's go. All in. Next day, they had a website. Kind of like what Mikey just created with the videos and the system. Just a simple website. Kind of like what's on GoPro too. You know, why, goals, list, three-way call. And I'm sitting on the couch. I'm used to working with the top DJs in the world, you know, Les, OTS. I had an ego back then, so I thought I was the shit. So they play these videos, and I'm thinking, three-way call. I'm like, I'm in my head, I'm like, what did I just sign up for? This is crazy. But I'm like, I'm not gonna quit. You know, I'm not a quitter. So I made a decision that day. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And there was a paper that somebody had printed out, the top 100 in the industry. And I remember it sitting vividly right on a coffee table, and everybody was talking about it. Like, dude, this is crazy. The top guy at that time was making 1.3 million a month. And, you know, I had this lid. Some of you might relate to this. Some of you guys might still have this lid right now, but where I grew up, there wasn't a lot of, I mean, the biggest house is an average, literally an average middle-class house in Miami. That was like the biggest, it had a gate in a cul-de-sac with 4 other houses around it. And that was the biggest house in my town where I grew up. Average car, Honda, you know, there were no, literally, I think my mom's the only person with a Mercedes in my town, for real. So it's not, we weren't poor, but it's just very middle class, okay? So my lid was 10 G's a month. I didn't even understand how companies could afford to pay people 20 grand a month, 30 grand a month. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. That's a lot of money. But when I saw that paper, something happened. I didn't know the guy. I didn't know any of the people on the list, but I saw him making 1.3 a month, and I was like, I'm gonna pass him. But and everybody looked at me like, because I didn't say it from a cocky place, I said it from a place of belief. Right, and there's a difference. Because in network marketing, you get 2 types of people. People who believe what they say, and people who just bark to hear the bark. Right? So make sure that when you speak, you're not just speaking to speak. You're not just speaking to be loud. You're not just speaking for your presence to be known. But speak belief, speak energy. You know, I've traveled the world where people can barely understand what I'm saying. And people will come up to me like, dude, there's just something about the way that you speak. You make me believe. You make me like excited about this. I have vision. You know, random people from third world countries. When Matt and I went in Shorty, we went to Africa, we went to Congo. Dude, people lined up. And they were like, yo, people from America don't come to visit us. You know, so you have the opportunity to actually be a catalyst for belief, whether people actually even join or not. Your whole mission here is to leave a footprint, because we do multiple things. We help people make money. We help people believe, right? We help people get back on track. We help people get the right mindset. We help people. I mean, I was at an event one time in Chicago. I think it was last year. A kid came up and he's like, dude, I came to this event tonight to decide if I was going to take my life or not. I'm like, imagine somebody comes up to you at an event, and I just went in that night. I remember he came up to me, and imagine that hits me like a ton of bricks. So I showed up to talk about trading, but it's not the only burden. It's not the only asset in the tool belt that we carry. So I saw that guy, 1.3 million a month, and I said, I'm going to do it. And then I thought about it. And we talk about the why very loosely. We talk about the why a lot, but are you really about the why? Because I see people on day one, they'll say, my why is this, and then they quit when 28 days is over. The why has to actually be an emotional place. You know, I wanted to take my family on vacations. I wanted to make sure, I heard my mentor, Brian Carruthers, we went to his Building an Empire live. It was one time only. He did a Building an Empire live locker room session. I took 13 people from my team, and we went and he taught from Building an Empire for like 8 hours. It was sick. And he talked about, and I was making like nothing. I was making like $600 a month at that time. But he talked about how, somebody in his family got sick. And because of this business, they can get the best doctors. And that freaking motivated him. He talked about how his pastor at the church was so busted up one time speaking because they needed new ceilings or new carpets, right? It's always the supporter resistance, right? So they needed new carpets or needed new ceilings. And it was like $45,000. They were really trying to raise that budget. Brian went in the back and stroked the check for $45K, and the pastor almost fell over.
Mm-hmm.
He taught, Brian's a big motivator for me. Last 2 years ago, him and another guy went homeless for a week. Two millionaires. So him and then one of his friends are both millionaires. They went homeless for a week and they lived with homeless people in the streets. They dressed like, with just regular t-shirts and stuff. He's just a great dude. So anyway, that really motivated me, right? So I think I talked about it on a call with you guys. The point of belief, okay? Think about this. I want you to think about the point of belief. Number one for you. But then for the newest person coming in, this POV, this point of belief is so pivotal. Because for me, when I first got in, that was my point of belief. I saw, wait a minute, somebody doing home meetings can make 1.3 million a month. All right, that's good. I like having no ceiling. I like Jason can work and go perform. I like that. That's how I like to work. So that was cool. We got to think about our point of belief. What made you believe? That's the first question you got to ask yourself. What made you believe? Was it meeting a leader? Was it seeing a profit in trading? Because guess what? Some people join and they still don't believe yet. Wow. They're in, but they still don't believe. Mm-hmm. And that's why people join and they disappear. They go into the missing person. Like you think I know UFOs exist because I've had some good prospects. They are gone. Social media gone. Gone. Never to be seen again. I swear. Listen, guys, as a chairman 750, people still know how much money I make. I have a blue check on Instagram, hundreds of thousands of followers, and people still go ghost. Get over it. The minute that you're emotionally attached, you're in trouble. Matt and I have been backstabbed by Chairman 25s in our business that we had to make the call to corporate and get them terminated. It's okay. Some of you guys are like, what? 3 Chairman 25s in 6-month period. We had to one dissolve, one we had to terminate, and the other one fizzled away. That is our biggest leg of business right now. Because we're not, yes, it sucks. I want to tell you, like, damn, it didn't hurt. Because the friendship, the time, the energy, the money that we put into that, of course, but you can't hang up on things. So I went a little bit off track. I'm going to get back on, but this is important. I want to talk about this. Don't get too emotional about what's happening. The best way to get around it is to stay focused on where you want to be. Right? We made the decision, number one in the industry. Not for us, but we knew what we'd be able to create. Thousands of people. That's the focus. That's where we're going. So when people quit, it's okay. Volume goes down, it's okay. How do we adjust? That's got to be your mindset. See, when bad things happen, people freeze up. We have a tendency to freeze because we start to think, but a lot of times our thoughts will paralyze our results. So don't just get frozen. You got to keep moving. Some of your best friends might join the business and quit. Some of your best leaders might quit. But you got to keep focused. You got to keep focused because your goal is so important. So let's get back to the point of belief. I think probably you have this window when people join. I think you have this window of like 24 hours. We call it. Could be 48. For some people, it's freaking 4 hours. It's not very long. You have this window. I call it like the window of vulnerability, right? Where they join you. You're their mentor. They're willing. So that's probably the moment where they're going to be the most vulnerable. Either then or when they're about to quit for the first time. Everybody, by the way, is about to quit at least once. So if you haven't been about to quit yet, it's coming. Get ready for it. Okay? Everybody has that I'm about to quit moment, I promise you. In this first window, 24 hours, 48 hours, that window of vulnerability, that's when you need to ask the pivotal questions. Not just the why, but look, when you get frustrated with trading, if you lose sight of the vision, if you feel like quitting, how do you want me to handle it? That's a great, see, because we all have been in this place where somebody stops answering texts. They stop engaging in group chats, right? They stop showing up to meetings. And we don't know what to do. We're like, yo, Katie, help. Shorty, help. What should I do? Mary's gone. And then it's just this weird, like, I don't want to beg this person to stay, but I want to try to keep them. Okay, that's still going to happen, but you can avoid it to some extent by hitting them in that window, right? To say, hey, look, when you're about to quit, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to remind you of your why? Do you want me to give you space? Do you want me to come to your house and knock on the damn door? Do you want me to invite you to church tomorrow so you can find Jesus again? What do you want me to do? Right? You got to ask that question. That's so pivotal. The other question you have to ask is, look, my goal as your mentor is to get you to the point of belief. What for you is going to get you to that point of belief? Because the point of belief is different for every single person. Do you want to see profits in your demo account? Do you want to get your 2 and 3? Do you want, to get your first sign? What do you want your first check? I was on the phone with a guy, I'm trying to think of who it was because it was like a good point of belief story. Who, somebody said, I forget. Well, anyway, this guy told me that he's a big networker, right? He's got a big network, super professional guy. He's like, my point of belief was that $54 pay quicker. This is a guy with money. But some people just want to see that it's real, right? That's the point of belief. Is it real? Can I get paid? Okay, I believe. Can I make money trading? Okay, I believe. Can I open a demo account and place a few trades from Glory and HFX? Yes, I believe. So that's got to be your goal. Your goal has to be to get people to that point of belief, because what you do is you sell them on the fact that the point of belief is like the turbo button. You say, look, you can move at whatever speed you want. How do I get you to the point of belief? Because when I get you to that point of belief, we're going all in. Now they give you permission to step on the gas, and you don't have to keep forcing people or pushing people or motivating people. See, it's okay. Matt and I enrolled 20-something people in the month of July. When was the birthday promo? July. Maybe 4 or 5 of them stayed. No, maybe 6 or 7 stayed. 3 or 4 with P1000, P2000. We're cool with that. I'm cool with that because guess what? I don't expect everybody to do it. I don't expect everybody to log in, do the IMC. Would I like that? Yes. But then you have other customers who are going to move slower. There's a guy that I signed up about 6 weeks ago, and he's on like video 27 of the academy. So today I'm like, hey, get in the DeLorean boot camp. Let's get you going. It's time. Let's go. He's like, yeah, I've been busy on work, but I'm all right. So you're going to have different types of people. So don't run a cookie cutter business. Katie talked about diversity. That's huge. Not just in, race, religion, or gender, but also in personality. Guys, you're going to deal with a lot of different people as you go on this journey. You cannot be cookie cutter in the way that you approach things. That is so important. I think that's probably one of the biggest things because in one moment I have to work with somebody who's super, 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 super blue. Like everything has to be perfect. Every detail, every piece to the system has to be perfect before they launch. And then I work with people who just run and run and run and figure it out later. And both of them are great. You gotta be adverse in the way that you work with people because if you're cookie cutter, you're only going to relate to maybe 1 or 2 of the personalities when in reality you can relate to everybody. I can work with everybody. But some people who are so red, they don't understand patience. So they don't have time to be patient. They just want to run, run, run. So try your best because that's discernment, right? The ability to be able to take a quick step back, take a deep breath, assess the situation, and come up with the right direction. That's your job as a leader, to bring clarity in the direction. Now, I want you guys to remember what I said, what I'm saying right now. Entrepreneurship is a game of adjustments. Expect to adjust your strategy every 30 to 60 days. That's got to be the expectation. What we're doing today, some of the fundamentals will always stay. Right? GoPro, timeless. Building an empire, timeless. But as far as trading is concerned, as far as people are concerned, as far as what's motivating your team is concerned, be ready to be dynamic. right? Some of the stuff that we used to teach years ago, still relevant. Some of the stuff we used to teach years ago, not relevant anymore. Entrepreneurship is a game of adjustments. If you're ready to make adjustments, you're going to continue to be in momentum because it's your job as the leader to pull the team forward. Right? This isn't a push. Some people say, Jay, I can't push my team. No crap, you can't push your team. That's not your job. I'm not here to push people. Pretty hard to push a couple 100,000 people. My job is not to push. My job is to walk with the willing, knowing that the willing will walk. That's got to be your goal. And, you know, it's tough sometimes because we have the look at the back office syndrome, right? Look at the volume syndrome. And I'll tell you, man, when that volume is sinking, you check every morning, but you already know, and then you're heartbroken. Be careful with that, right? Sometimes it's better just to put your head down. I've had leaders that are like, dude, I'm not checking the back office for 6 days. I'm just going to put my head down, and I'm going to let the work produce. And that's okay. Is it 100% good to build a business? Blind, not so much. You also can't be scared because you don't want to build a fear of what's happening in your business, right? But you got to find that common ground when you know, is this going to bother me right now? Right? Is this going to motivate me right now? Some of you guys only have 1 or 2 customers. Look at that every day and know that you're 481 away from charity. Get motivated. Don't use it as a point of discouragement, right? Because even in the markets, I trade Bitcoin, right? I trade Bitcoin a lot. And sometimes when Bitcoin's down, I got a lot of Bitcoin as well. So when Bitcoin's down, sometimes it bothers me, but then I remember where it's going. Right? I remember, hey, this pullback, damn it, you know what? Instead of getting motivated, let me buy a little bit more. That's got to be your mentality with the business. If you're in a pullback right now, good. Buy a little bit further into it. Buy a little bit further into it. Because that's natural. Guys, Matt will tell you if you ask him. We go through every year 4 to 6 different seasons in our business. Some of the seasons are unbelievable. Like, in March, we went from, I think we even started the year, and we ended, like right around Christmas, we re-qualified at Chairman 500 because we went back to Chairman 250 with the leaders that left and everything. So poor us, everybody cried. We went back to Chairman 250. So we went to Chairman 250 for 6 or 7 months, and then we re-qualified 500, and literally by like April or May, we hit 750. So we blew past, all right, 500, we've been here before, next, right? But there was also a time where every day it seemed like volume was going down, right? Things were happening. That happens. That's part of it. I mean, there's always going to be, and it's just crazy how it works, but it seems like when everybody's in momentum, everybody's in momentum. When everybody's not, they're not. But here's the great thing. Because we have an educational platform, there are a lot of people who are super dedicated to learning. Every single one of you is going to have great customers who love these services, who get on the sessions. I signed up some of my best friends from home, from college, and they trade every single day together. I'm not even there. They love it, right? They love DeLorean. They love what they do. They love HFX. They're paying their subscription. I don't have to chase them down anymore. So that's okay. And I got to tell you, 85 to 90% of our business is customers. So yes, we want to be always in the motion forward for recruiting leaders. You want to look for movers and shakers, but don't force something into something that it's not. Right? Leadership for some people takes time. Right? Speaking for some people is intimidating. Right? I wasn't really ready to speak, and then Alex Morton one night with like 30 days in network marketing, he's like, dude, I heard you're on fire, you're speaking tonight. I was like, about what? I was shook. I was like, all right, cool. We sold a product at that time, and I remember I opened up. This place was packed, and I went to go pick up the product, and I was so nervous. I could barely hold the drink. I was like holding it with 2 hands. Everybody is there at some point, but you gotta meet people with where they are. Okay. So here's something else I want to segue into. Steve talked about prospecting. You guys heard a lot about prospecting, tap rooting. I want to talk about the magic formula, closing, the magic word, closing. Everybody's wondering how to close. First and foremost, you can't be scared to ask, right? The worst thing that's going to happen is that somebody's going to say, no. That's the worst thing, honestly. You don't need to be aggressive. See, I don't like Grant Cardone because he's such a shark. You know, he's like, dude, don't talk to me until you buy. That's not the type of business that we're in, right? We're in the industry, the profession of relationships. And I've taught this around the world. I'm going to tell you guys right now, we don't close people. We open people, right? Because in reality, the true journey begins when they get started, not when they buy. This isn't car sales where, we, like, if it was car sales, I'd be like, Greg, you need this car, bro. I mean, honestly, bro, you need this car. Look at the air conditioning vents. It's just so rare. Look at the LED under the door. And when Ray buys, I have to go sell something else to somebody else to continue to live. That's sales, right? Sales typically don't involve relationships. They involve fake relationships to the salesman. That's the truth.
Wow.
So if you treat your business like a sales machine, you'll get sales, but they won't go. You won't get the people to where you want them to be, which is comfort, right? If people are hard closed, they're gonna hard quit too. It's called buyer's remorse. So I don't typically mind if I have right now a pipeline of like 15 good prospects. I'm patient with them. Not just because, well, you're a CH750, I need to hit rate. Guys, you don't need to hit anything. If you have that mentality that you need to hit something, you're not going to hit it. Why? Because you cannot force success. You need to attract success. And I know some of you guys want to go to this retreat, and I know, well, at least for your guys' team, you want to go to retreat. You guys are all aiming to hit ranks. Just as the best advice I can give you is be patient. Because I had my back against the wall for 2 years when I quit my job in corporate America and went all in network marketing. My credit cards were racking up, and at times I felt the pressure. But I realized that that energy was counterproductive to my business because I was on the calls. I was able to step outside and think, wow, I kind of like pushed that person. I kind of nudged that person a little bit too hard. When in reality, I would have rather just given them the opportunity, left the call, and said, hey, look, it's on you. I'm like, hey, you ready to sign up? I heard so many people like, so you ready? Well, here's your objection. Boom. Now forget that. You don't need to talk to your wife. You need to sign up right now. Guys, go with them. Right? This is a game, not a game of tug of war. It's a game of like trying to get that rope right to the middle. You don't need to win. Trust me. If you're competitive with your prospects, it's going to be, your lid is going to be like platinum 600 because it's just going to be a revolving door. Don't compete with people. Go with them, right? And I know this is tough advice because other people will tell you, no, go. Trust me. I've closed some of the biggest producers in the company, and I couldn't go for their head, right? I had to figure out a way to swim next to them first. Mm-hmm. That's got to be your thing. People want to see you side by side, not face to face. That's true leadership. People, trust me. If people know that you care, they will buy whatever you have to sell. Guys, we could all go sell Mary Kay tomorrow. And if you're a good person, you're going to have success there, just like you have success here. It doesn't really matter. That's the truth. So try to have the mindset, the philosophy of getting side by side. Yes, you have to be aggressive. I was on a call today. Kid was super excited. He was like, yeah, I've been watching. I've been thinking about joining IM. Found you, da-da-da. I said, look, so you're ready to go? He's like, yep, I'm ready to go. I said, good, let's do it right now. Get on the, here's my link, we'll do it while we're on the phone. That's okay, because he said, yes, I'm ready. There's a time when you go for it, and there's a time when you say, okay, look, let's talk. You know, a couple of the prospects that are working with, hey, I don't really have a lot of money right now. No problem, we're here, I'm here for you. Don't worry, whatever, a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever, you're good. I'm gonna keep following up. Because here's the thing, you guys gotta create a pipeline. See, I had this mentality when I first got, I'll tell you, this is everything I'm about to tell you, hand on the Bible, God straight me down. This is the truth. I got involved in the business, and I lived with a few of my buddies who all were promoters. After about a month or two, I couldn't afford rent. So, because my money was gone, shit was getting tough, right? I can't pay my rent on the credit card. So I just pay my buddy cash. So things were getting a little bit tough. So my upline, actually, his roommate was in the business at first, de-ranked, and then quit. And he got so mad that we were doing meetings at the house every day, he moved out. So I took his bedroom. I was like, so this is what we did. I had a list, legit list. Some of you guys want to go chairman, you don't have a list yet. Get a list. Go get a brand new notebook tomorrow, get a list. Just write the name down in their Instagram or their phone number. However you're connecting with them, because I promise you, if you create this massive pipeline but you have no organization, you will kick yourself so many times because 6 months down the road, there were people that should be in your business, but you forgot to follow up. The reason why in 3 years that all of you are not chairman is because you didn't follow up. I promise you. If you talk to 10 people a day and you consistently follow up with people that are organized, there's no reason why you can't be P5000 chairman in the next 24 months. There's zero reason. Because it's just, at that point, it's just numbers. Right? It's not a numbers game, it's a people game, but to some extent, it's numbers. Talk to 10 and get 1. Law of averages. Jim Rohn. How many of you guys listen to Jim Rohn? Woo. It says talk to 10 and get 1. As you get better, talk to 10 and get 2. Talk to 10 and get 3. Guys, that's great. Create the pipeline. So here's what we did. I contacted new people every day. I used to sit on Facebook with Facebook Messenger open. This is when Facebook was huge. So this was before Instagram really took over part of it anyway. Facebook's still a great platform, by the way. There's still a lot of people on Facebook. But anyway, what we did was we would sit there, me and 2 or 3 people on the team, and we would just, we'd take a break, we'd go to the gym, we'd come back, and we'd just message people. Get people come over. Hey, look, what are you doing tomorrow at 3? Come over, let's do a one-on-one. One-on-ones are huge. When you're P150, P600, P1000s, you should be doing at least 1 or 2 one-on-ones a week. Minimum. You should be meeting people at the coffee shop. Hey, you want to go to Panera for lunch? Hey, look, it's been a while. Let's catch up. Go somewhere. Meet them face to face. Some of the best, first off, it's going to sharpen your sword to such a level because you're going to get so good. Yeah, you're going to be nervous. Sure. Are you probably going to get hit with some questions you can't answer? For sure. Are you going to get checked about trading? Yup. You ain't going to grow if you don't do that. When Matt and I started IM, I'll go back to that story. I want to tell you this. When Matt and I started IM, there was a smoothie shop in Hialeah, and we had a small team, and we used to go in there, and it was very small. We used to go and we used to set up tables next to each other, and we would sit down, 2 laptops, and we would talk. And I would pull out the charts, and literally, for every prospect, I would explain what's a pip, what's the lot size, how does the pip plus the lot size convert to money. Here's a chart, here's 50 pips. I would literally lay it on the table for them and say, this is why you need the harmonic scanner. That was the only product we had. Some of you guys complain because we don't have enough stuff. We built a chairman with the harmonic scanner. Seriously, we built the chairman 25 with the harmonic scanner, only. Now you got HFX steroids, DeLorean super steroids, Gold Cup steroids. I mean, everybody in the league's on steroids. One-on-ones. Don't shy away from them. Do more. You got to meet up with people. Schwab signed up the manager of Itaru. Met up with him one-on-one. Relationship. Good job, Schwab. If he doesn't go chairman, at least we get a discount. But it wasn't the first time. It's a relationship that's built over time. Listen, when people love you, they want what you have. Somebody told me the other day. He goes, oh no, actually a few stories about Bitcoin. One of my best friends from high school, I met in my freshman year. One of my best friends, Ian, we went on vacation with him. He goes, dude, you and a guy that I work with are the only 2 people that know as much about Bitcoin as you do. He's like, I actually really want to learn that. He's like, I was super skeptical. I was on the phone with IM's attorney this morning. He's like, dude, me and my wife are with this guy's rich, super rich. He's like, dude, me and my wife, all our investments are very conservative. We have bonds, JP Morgan, Stanley, blah, 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 all the fancy old people stuff. He's like, but honestly, you make Bitcoin sound really cool. He's like, I'm gonna talk to my wife. He's like, send me that video. I sent him the video, Bitcoin's booming. And he's like, I just want some help. So you have the opportunity to build those relationships. The relationships build the trust builds the business. That's one-on-ones, guys, develop relationships. Because when people feel comfortable, they're gonna operate at their highest level. I was comfortable. Guys, 6 months. The guy who enrolled me developed a relationship, asked me to go to events, and the one day when I was ready, he double rank advanced in 30 days. He went from the equivalent of P600 to the equivalent of P2000 in 30 days. You can have the people that move and shake, The people that are going to shake up your business, because all of you on your growing leg, all of you are probably 1 or 2 buildings away from where you want to be. Be patient. He was patient. And I passed it by a lot. And then he was like, dude, I got to build my other leg now. That's called good problems. You got to build the right relationships. That's the truth. Tackle it. Build the right relationships. So, going back, we're in this living room every day. One-on-ones, one-on-ones, one-on-ones. Then we would have a big event once or twice a week. And everybody would be invited to the event. And I would go, this is probably some of the best advice you guys are going to get. Go with the flow. You guys got to know your audience, and you got to know who you're speaking to. There was a time when a lady came, so Matt and I were chairman of 10. And, we brought Alex Moore into the business. So I'm fired up. Alex is building on our baby leg. And I'm like, dude, we're about to have a breakthrough. 3 years, we're about to have a breakthrough. And then Alex enrolled Yvonne Tapia enrolls David. So I'm like, dude, we're about to have a party. Forget the breakthrough, we're about to have a party. So David had some leaders. He was like, hey, if you have a meeting in Miami, I want to send some leaders there. Jeff and Angela Cruikshank, now 250. They showed up to our little coffee shop. And there was this lady, Kim, I'll never forget. She sat right in front. She looked, this whole event. She came up to me right after. She's like, hey, what's up? I'm Kim. I'm David with ETA's personal enrollment. So immediately I changed. I was like, all right, cool. I got impressed. I wanted to earn David's respect. And she's like, look, I've been selling coffee in this company for years, da 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 da. She's like, I live in Boca. Will you come do an event? I just moved to Florida, so I had no idea. Something, 20-minute ride, yeah, I got you. I looked at the GPS. We lived in Coral Gables. I was like, oh, okay, we're going to Orlando, basically. Sweet. So she's like, all right, every other Wednesday. Yeah, I got you, no problem. I walk in to this event by myself. Matt never wanted to go. He was like, don't go. I'm like, I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to go. So if you know Matt, you'll laugh at this story. So I walk into this clubhouse, and there are 4 old ladies sitting down on the couches. Testimony. I start, Bible verses are flying through. I'm like, ready to roll, So anyway, a few more showed up. She's like waiting for this apostle and all these people, and I'm like, all right, I don't even know what that means. I'm like, all right, cool, sounds great, let's do it. I was expecting like the king to walk through the door. I had no idea what to expect. So now I'm teaching. So normally we would do the PowerPoint. Right? That was the standard, the go-to. PowerPoint. Let's do it. Company PowerPoint. You got to be dynamic. See, on my toes, I'm like, all right, I'm going to win. You got to win that thing. Whether they sign up or not, you got to win that thing. So I'm like, all right, we're going to do something different. I'm like, get me a whiteboard. She's like, well, I don't have a whiteboard, but I have an easel at my house with the paper. And I'm like, perfect. Let's get it. Cool. So here's what I did, literally. They put this paper, and I have all these ladies. They love me. They all about me. By like week 6, it was lit. We turned it up. But they put this thing there, and I said, look, we're going to talk about Forex. I couldn't go the traditional route. We're going to talk about Forex. I said, this is a pick. And I wrote out Euro USD, 1.15000. And I said, this number's a pick. And 50 pips looks like this. And I just went through this whole thing about lot sizes and how the money's made. And by the end of the presentation, they were all excited. They were like, wow, you made that so simple. So the next week, all these little old ladies come in with their iPads. I felt like Geek Squad. I was like troubleshooting iPads. I text Matt. Matt's like, how's the event? I sent him a picture. He's like, bro. I'm like, bro, you should come up sometime. He's like, yo, I'm good. I support you, but I'm good. But I had so much fun. And you know what? It led me to meeting some amazing people. I went to so many great events. I met so many amazing people. Some of them are still in the business. But it was just a gratifying thing that to see. There was one lady. She was like 80 years old from Jamaica. She was a badass. I loved her. And I helped her do her demo account. And I remember they came to an event when we were allowed to have events in the normal world, before the Walking Dead. Not just kidding. We had an event and she showed up and she made money on a demo. On her little iPad, she showed me it was the best day of my life. But guess what, guys? The reason why I told you that is because you got to be dynamic. Because I've also showed up to events where I expected 105 showed up. And I said, you know what? We're not going to do the big presentation tonight. We're going to get real. We're gonna skip the fancy stuff. We're gonna just break it down. Let's just be real. Right? I pull everybody in a circle and I start breaking down pips, break down lot sizes, go through forex, make sure they understand that's okay. You don't have to be A1. Guys, you have to be professional, but you don't need to be like, Wall Street, bougie. Have fun. That's what people like. You know what I realized? The suit and tie thing is cool, but it's not all the time. Sometimes people just want to feel comfortable. Imagine, would you guys be here tonight if I said, hey, suit and tie, dresses? Like, what am I going to gala? No. No. Right? So make the business fun and be dynamic in how you present. Right? Everybody was doing the PowerPoint. I said, look, I'm just going to show the center. And I think that's how you guys do it. Right? A lot of people will show the center. Yeah. Just be dynamic in the way you do it. So back to the living room. Guys, I was on Instagram every day. Once I got through, let me tell you this. I launched. Had 22 people sign up in my first, it was like 7 days, 10 days. I did the launch event at my college, invited all my friends. Everybody signed up on the spot. We did a why circle. Everybody cried. 30 days later, they quit. That's why I told you the why is important, but it's not everything. You can't just set somebody's why because everybody quit. They cried. Like my friends who cried went back to partying the next day. Could care less. Little Maggie who cried drove down my front lawn the next morning. I'm not even kidding. The why is not always going to concrete somebody into success. It's got to be more than that. Literally, everybody quit. And now I'm at the point where that first breaking point, where you're like, what do I do? Why did I do it? Where am I going? That's got to be one of the most powerful things for myself. Because I made a decision that night that I was going all the way. We rebuilt it. And I started to realize that it wasn't so much about how many people I could put in the business, but it was about how many people I could build into the business. Right? How many people that I could develop. How many leaders can I take from A to B? That's the secret sauce. And so I would literally message. I had such a desire to build international. I would message 10 to 15 people a day. Minimum on a bad day. Good days when I was bored, it would be way more. I got put in Facebook jail countless times. Oh my God. I went from 1,000 friends on Facebook to 5,000. My goal was to fill that arena. Facebook gives you 5,000 friends. My goal was to fill it up. I went on, I looked all over. Tony Robbins page, Jim Rohn, real estate groups in Florida. Any type of creativity that I could think of, I would go find people that looked the part, that were dressed the part, and I just started adding people. Some people in the company because I wanted support. And guess what? My likes started going up. My engagement started going up. Right? And I started to realize, like, hey, this is a give and take. If I'm liking your posts and we create some engagement, now people have more credibility. It's the world we live in. Right? Unfortunately, it's kind of vain, but people will judge you off of likes and followers. And so in this business, to get people's attention, you need likes and followers. So some people from IM, who's going to like your posts? Who's going to like your motivation? People that are doing the same thing. So I filled up half the arena with that and half the arena. Now here's what I didn't expect. I filled up half of it with people in the company, half without. And you know what's crazy? That company shut down, unfortunately. Well, it didn't shut down, but it went through some tough times. And most of the people, like Mikey Sotero, Mikey was like the equivalent of chairman basically in that company, and I was the equivalent of P600, and I recruited Mikey into IM. Right? Some of the biggest leaders from that company are in Matt and I's organization. Because as time goes, leadership, it's like the cream always rises to the top. You guys heard that before? Mm-hmm. It's like beer, the foam's never on the bottom, it's always in the top. Mm. Leadership will always rise to the top. So you don't have to question your result, question your leadership. Ooh. The truth hurts, but that's leadership also. We have to have the tough conversations so we can enjoy the great ones. But leadership will always rise to the top. I believe that God will put you in a place that you belong, always. You have to be, let me say this, you have to be grateful for what you have before you can get to where you want. Probably the biggest thing that I have to help my leaders do, Platinum 5000s, Chairman 10s, Chairman 25s, Chairman 50s, Chairman 100s. I'm telling you, probably one of the biggest things that we have to help them with is gratitude. Because God forbid something happens. God forbid credit cards, Wells Fargo, oh my God. Wells Fargo's holding me back from Chairman 100. No, it's not. You heard of MasterCash? You heard of Chase? It's never the obstacle that's holding you back. It's the lack of a solution. It's the lack of a solution. Guys, you know what happened? We have a huge team in Argentina. Huge. Thousands of people in Argentina. And 3 weeks ago, while we were in Universal, for the 100th time it feels like, I have to take a phone call. You want to know why? Argentina, the US dollar went up. So the value of the dollar went up, and they also assessed like a 30% tax in within a 7-day period. 2 things happened. Conversion rate went bonkers, and they also assessed a 30% tax to convert to the US dollar. Something crazy.
Wow.
And so it's like 50% increase.
Wow.
So their platinum package is $320, and their average income is $220. We have a big team there. That's a big challenge because of COVID. They can't even sometimes go to the bank to deposit money, and a lot of them don't have credit cards. So you want to talk about obstacles? But that's not something I've learned. I'm telling you, you hear the chats, people panicking, people going crazy. I'm just standing right in the middle. I'm like, all right, you're gonna find a solution. Sometimes people get mad. They're like, what's wrong with you? You have no urgency. I'm like, I got this. We'll figure it out. I take the emotion out because I believe there's always a solution for what's meant to be. And if it's not meant to be, then I won't find a solution. And guess what we did? We found a solution. We found a way to get them some Bitcoin, and we're gonna put Bitcoin ATMs in Argentina that accept pesos into the ATM, and we'll never have knock on wood. We should have a problem again. But if I focused on the emotion, a bunch of leaders probably would have quit and we would have never gotten to that point. So be adverse in how you deal with things. That's pivotal. You're always gonna have some normal deal with it. Closing. I go on tangents, but they're all powerful. I'm trying to get back to the main yard. Closing. We don't close, we open. So focus on that relationship. Right? When somebody gets started, the truth is that we paid the tarmac and we want them to launch. The idea is launch. Mikey gave you an unbelievable tactic and a strategy to actually get people moving on the building side. One of the things that I like to do is ask them, and this could be in that window of vulnerability as well, I like to ask them, number one, and this is actually a great way for you guys to launch people, you can implement this. I say, look, there's no right or wrong answer. Disclaimer, the worst thing people do is condemn people. I hear it all the time. Well, that's not good enough. No, it's volunteer. You want to give me 5 minutes a day? Go. That's up to you. Yes, would I like you to be all in 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day? Yes. But I can't expect to get that from everybody. And I know that if your belief goes up, you're going to put more time. That's why you guys are here tonight. It's just belief that got you to where you are. Now, it's going to be belief when you walk that stage and you're chairman. It's belief that got you there as well. So in that window, I say, look, there's no right or wrong answer. But how many hours a day consistently? See, the key is consistency. I don't care about taking 8 hours today and 1 hour tomorrow. That's not relevant. How many hours a day consistently can you put into this? And I'm not asking for me. I'm asking so I can give you a paper. The average answer will be 2 hours. Give us 2 hours a day. They say 1, great. They say 30 minutes. Say, we need to make it an hour. We can find an hour. Less Netflix, right? So let's say it's 2 hours. Say, perfect. Whatever they say, your answer is perfect. You want them to feel good, motivated. You can do better than that. No, perfect. Perfect is good. I say, look, now, what percentage do you want to devote towards building, getting your tune free, whatever your goal is, and what percentage do you want to devote towards trading? There's no right or wrong answer. Right now, 100% trading. Cool. Let's make it 90-10. just work on just some skills. Maybe put me in contact with a few people. Let's try to get your 2 and 3. Wouldn't it be better for you to learn if you got your 2 and 3? You know what? All right, don't force it. Say, cool, don't worry about it. Try one more time. Hey, look, let's just work on your 2 and 3. That way you don't have stress. If they resist, don't push. Let it go. Cool, no problem. I support it. I'm telling you, sometimes you can push that last little nudge and they're like, all right, it's a compromise. I'll do 2 and 3. But if they don't want it, walk away. Remember, it's a game of adjustment. So every 60 to 90 days, you're going to readjust the game plan.
Nice.
If they're still here in 60 to 90 days, they probably want P600, regardless if they want it off the rip. That's why I don't really try to force people to build. Yes, it's important. If people are ready, let's run. Chairman boot camp, knock it out in 5 to 7 days, and let's get to work. Let's get people in group chats. I love that, what Mikey said. Get 5 group chats. If they say, I want to build, so find out the percentage. 50-50, awesome. Now we're going to launch. Let's get 5 group chats together, and I'm going to do the first 5 calls with you. Go. Why? Point of belief. If we do 5 calls, you're going to get 1 or 2 sign-ups. Now you're 2 and 3, or you're halfway there, right? Or you're P150. You could listen. If we get people 2 and 3 or P150, 90% of the time they're not going anywhere because they tasted success. Tasted it. So that's what you need. Get people to the point of belief. Add all the other fancy stuff into the launch. The links, the chats, the PDFs, all that stuff is great. The videos, but it's the dialogue. I think the dialogue that's most important. Look, we're here for you. The guy that I signed today, I said, look, bro, I'm here for you. You got a chat, you can text me anytime. The only time I won't answer is if I'm busy or if I'm sleeping. I said, but understand, if you get frustrated anytime, come to me. Closed mouths don't get fed. That's my policy. Closed mouths don't get fed. I'm not going to chase you down. I'm not in the business of chasing. So that's big. Don't close, open. The relationship should start when the person signs up. This will take a lot of pressure off you getting people in. Just create a funnel. Create a funnel, guys. 10 to 15 new people a day. Get creative on social media. Go talk to people. I see V talking to people every single day. You're going to strike out. Who cares? Somebody who's going to ghost you. Cool. For the ladies in the room, especially the single ladies, you guys are going to deal with some vultures.
Not one of me.
There's vultures everywhere, promise. Don't dilute who you are for a prospect. Don't dilute who you are for a sign-up. Hold your posture. Because, you know, we've had a lot of women in the business who will hit ranks, and then it's unfortunate, but I have to apologize because men just vulture in on them. Oh, God forbid a girl posts a bikini picture, you got 47 DMs. Hold your ground, especially with prospects. And don't flirt because sometimes girls be like, man, nobody respects me. Well, every picture is naked, half naked. What are you attracting? You know, if you want professional, be professional.
Right.
But hold your ground.
Yes.
Honestly, hold your ground. And guys, you know the deal. Unsaid. For us, it's just unsaid dialogue. It's professional. Listen, this is business. I tell people, this is not Tinder. This ain't Christian mingle. This ain't Forex mingle, binary mingle, binary mingle. There ain't no mingle. Schwab's buying the domain. If you want to mingle, mingle when you're chairman. There's your quote for the day. Seriously, divide. When I started dating Katie, she was a free customer 2 and 3.
Hey.
Divided, right? But it's all about attention as well. Know your intention because people if the heart is involved in that type of way in the business and it falls apart, the business falls apart. Guys, I've had couples come in together, kill it together, something goes wrong, and it's like we're trying to hold. You guys see the movie with The Rock in California where the whole shit, everything's just breaking? We're trying to hold it together. We're like, please don't go here. Try to keep that as far away from the actual business as possible. Every single person, you're going to have your personal life. You might be building this with your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, fiance. That might happen, and it should happen. I think it's amazing. But don't involve at any point that emotion into the business. That's the best advice that I can give. Right? When Katie and I first started dating, I told her, she'd be like, I want to talk about, I said, look, we're not going to talk about business. And there's certain things that I don't tell her, and she's like, what's wrong? What's going on? I'm like, look, there's certain things that I want to protect from the relationship because it's not, your perception on certain people will change. I don't want that. Right? Your perception on certain situations, I don't want that. So there's certain things that I protect because I know I can solve it. And then there's certain things that we can talk about. But to be honest, I think it's better, it's healthier for our relationship that we do things separate. Right? We don't really do a lot of events together. And it's just because it's better for that person to thrive in who they are, not in who I am and vice versa. So take that advice on. Let's see, what else? I think I covered a lot of stuff, honestly. I think I covered a lot of stuff. I enjoy this. It's been a while. You know, usually I'm walking into Publix with my mask on, and then I have to go back in timeout.
Hey, can we do a 10-minute Q&A?
Sure. Yeah, I was going to say, when I get stuck, I go Q&A. It's safe. It's safe.
But if I have a couple questions, like
Yeah, that's cool. You got to go?
Yeah, I'm out.
All right, bro.
Appreciate you, Logan.
Got you, bro.
Nah, he has you covered now.
Do you guys have questions about anything? If not, I'll get creative. Honestly, you guys got a lot of information today, so that's good. Let me say this. Okay, actually, I'll end it on this note because it's late. Everybody's tired. I got it. So let me say this. Divide your time wisely. And I know Elaine trained on time efficiency, but let me just give you a piece of advice that really helped me a lot. And also with Matt, you know, there's two aspects to this. You got to be organized with your time and professional with your time. Everything should have an appointment. Listen, this is God's honest truth. I send Chris Terry a voicemail sometimes. It's the truth. And is it urgent? Because there's time, I learned that there were so many times where I was giving, and thank God for Shorty, because I was roommates with Matt and Shorty for years, and Shorty one day was like, oh, you give your time to everybody. And I was like, damn, that's kind of true. I got defensive at first, but I thought about it, I was like, yo, that's kind of true. Like, I'm always available, so I'm not actually enjoying why I started to build a business. Mm-hmm. Is it urgent? Okay, because guess what, guys? Most stuff can wait.
Mm-hmm.
That's my training.
Mm-hmm.
Most stuff can wait. That's good. Most stuff can wait. That doesn't mean that you can ignore everybody. You should still, I mean, you guys can, every text before I go to sleep, and multiple times throughout the day, my texts are clear. My WhatsApp, it takes 2 seconds. The only reason why your messages are building up is because you're lazy. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. But if you have unread messages every single day, you're lazy. My WhatsApp, I'm a CH750 with dozens of personally enrolled P5000s and above. My texts are answered every single day, even when I'm on vacation. Answer, clear. Before I go to sleep, text answer. WhatsApp. Telegram is tough because I got thrown in like 7,000 spam chats. I have no idea how it happened, but I deleted them and they just keep happening. So Telegram is a little bit tough. WhatsApp, even Instagram, I stay on top of almost everything. Even if it's a mention, I just pop it and like it. It does not take a lot of time. Stay on top of it. But then you can be efficient with your time because you're not catching up. You don't have this burden of, wow, all this work is building up. Most stuff can wait, right? Appointments, set them. Tomorrow, I go to church in the morning, and I go to second church, which is NFL, 1 p.m. kickoff. I find Jesus, and then I find the couch. That's my Sunday. If the Yankees were on last night, 7 to 10, I don't book appointments. Guess why? Because I worked my butt off this morning all day. Monday, my calendar already for Monday is stacked from like 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. stacked, and it's still 3 days left to go. Cool. There's going to be days where you work like that because you control it. You control your time. Think about the perception of your prospect, right? If you just jump on a call, hey, no, Steve, I got somebody right now. Can you jump on a call right now? They're not going to respect Steve as much if he's available because if somebody tried to call Bill Gates right now, he probably wouldn't pick up the phone. Professionally, right? Make everything an appointment. When you're talking to people, you want to get on 3-way calls, do it the next day. Unless it's like a certain situation and you want to do same day, set it up for the next day, and you set the table and say, look, Chase, I have a prospect. Here's 2 times he's available tomorrow, 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. Does that work for you? Okay, no, well, let me figure out, you just go with the flow. But most of the time, if you get 2 times, somebody will make the time.
Yeah.
Set that precedent, because then people, they respect your time. Nobody's gonna waste your time if they feel that it's valuable.
Right.
So, I appreciate you guys, drive safe. You guys have all better be P150 on here.
Guys, thank you so much for coming. We love you guys. I know